Good evening, gentlemen. Oh, well, here, let me turn the Discord audio on to everybody. There we go. Now the Discord audio should go everywhere.
We're back.
Wonderful.
Okay.
We are Gucci and back. Apparently double
Gucci
back
and
today. At least double the back.
We have added my secretary into the mix.
Yes, yes. We are secretaried up.
We are secretary.
Under my secretaryship, I'm surprised that any of these companies still exist.
Yeah, I don't
Excellent.
know either, man. Shit.
Mr. Mafia, I think they are I think they are called like way worse things than that. I don't think we call them that here. I think we're very rude about them here, sir. Sorry. There was talk of certain people in the chat, and my wife simply will not tolerate being in any way kind to them. So we had to correct that immediately. All right. Why now I'm echoing. What have I done? That's what I've done. There we go. That's more like it. Now I sound like me. Good job, me. There we go. All right. Let's have... All right. Are we squatted up? No, we're waiting for brothers, it says. I've been loaded because the squad leader was changed.
Squad leader has changed.
Oh, my word.
Oh, yeah, I made you the squad leader, Mr. Secretary, so you could,
the campaign.
yeah, so you could do the campaign.
Perfect. Perfect.
Everyone here?
It looks like everyone is, in fact, here, and I need to push one more button because there's the HDMI capture.
There we go.
Break last. I do not recognize the name. Good afternoon, sir.
We are on operation number 2, it looks like.
Yes. I don't know which I don't know which Giga Chud it's gonna make me in the campaign.
We will figure it out. We will discover this together.
It's true. It's true.
Oh no, just continue. I have no idea where this is going to drop us, but we're just going to go for it.
Bless.
Fuck it. Dear Ward Priest and podcast host, how was your week? What's new? Give me the scoop.
Oh, well, let's see. We got for the week, this last week. You know what? I actually had a pretty good straightforward week. There was no attempts on my life this week. No attempted stealing of my car either. I didn't have to try and like chase anybody away armed.
No fighting off of the hordes of monstrous invaders.
No, not this time.
Okay.
Not this time. A real bonus that way.
Always, it's a cherry on top.
It is, and I think I'm a big fan of that. We got shows out this week. It was a good hammer onward kind of week. I think Pride Month. I think Pride Month was a bust for like the worst people on the planet this year, and I think they may have noticed in the last 6 days, and it was very demoralizing to them.
Wasn't the mood kind of down the whole month for everyone? It was that great of a June. I gotta be honest with you. It was like there was a part of me that I was like, this is a funky month. I don't like the vibes coming off of this 30. And I was like, what?
It's very mid-June overall.
Yeah,
mid-June.
Summer months are supposed to be cooler than this.
I think it worked out though. I am happy with, anytime there's a deadly sin that gets a month dedicated to it, I think it's a good idea for that to be a relatively chill month.
Exactly. But
If nothing happened, then that means something bad happened. So.
True. But in better news, and the secretary will be very happy to realize this. The Ortho Chat is back. It feels back. We're releasing our episodes now. We're back on a regularly scheduled program, and I was going to make the return video a little more climactic than what it was, but you know what? I just kind of winged it per se. And
that's perfectly good video.
if they want to participate in the glory that's to come, they can. If not, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get it together with playing the regular dude. I'm so used to like stomping around with the heavy weapons all the time, and that is not the way it works.
Does it feel good to be light on your feet again?
It's very different. It's a very different game, actually. And Mr. Breaklast, yes, the gameplay does look very smooth. I'm on PC, of course. Of course I am.
We're not savages.
We're not exactly,
No,
exactly. We are not console poors, most of us.
Exactly. Well, you know, I ended up, I got my PS5 fixed, and I did it exclusively for the reason that, like, I think the state of gaming consoles is going back to what I think they thought the PS3 was going to be 15 years ago. You know what I mean? I feel like, well, things are transitioning back into that period. It's like there's no good reason if you like video games not to be on PC, because you have something you can work from, you have something that you can play games on better than things that are made for making games. The idea of exclusive releases is kind of dead in the water.
It is, which is actually, I think that's unfortunate. I know that you know, there are lots of reasons to not like the console wars kind of thing, but I believe the future is tribalism in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We've talked about that, but I think
The world was always such a thing. You know
exactly,
what I mean? It's like,
exactly. I think that it was a silly thing that we did trying to do anything big tent. You know, I think the tent got too big for everybody.
Well, if everything is everything, then nothing is anything. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Like there's a distinct flavor to Nintendo games versus Sega games, and everybody knows that. Everybody knew that at the time. No, today's my early stream. Usually I'm streaming a little bit later, and I'll admit, when I have two guys on a call, I probably shouldn't be responding so much to the chat, so bear with me, and my wife can type at you, but I'm not ignoring everybody. All right. So anyhow, sorry.
It's like, yeah,
the feel of a PlayStation game, right, was like a different Japanese vibe than like a Nintendo game, you know?
There was like this quiet quality that kind of came with it.
Yeah. Well, and it was more of a like teenager feeling game, I think, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was like the point at the time, you know? Like Super Nintendo had a couple of games that were like more geared toward a teenage or young adult audience, and I think that it was a good call for the Super Nintendo. But then you had PlayStation came out, the console wars really took off because, like, God, do you remember when Dreamcast was like that thing? Oh, he says he dropped. Where's there? Okay, well, something didn't work right. Of course. So, all right, the.
I remember there, like, I remember one of the first consoles I owned. I remember I had a PS2, and I loved that, and I also loved having my Game Boy Advance. I loved that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't know what the hell they used for the screens back then, but I remember I used to get these throbbing migraines using that damn thing.
It was the refresh rate for the most part.
The Game Boy Advance was a headache factory.
Really?
Yeah, like I didn't know if it was just me, but I remember distinctly when
me.
I was a little kid. Yeah.
I had a Game Boy Advance SP, which is like the folding one, and that thing.
That's what I had. Yeah.
It was great.
You know what? I remember my PSP too. I would go as far enough to say that was one of the better consoles I've ever owned in my life. I think that blows everything after like the 360 out of the water. I loved my PSP. Everything about it felt so unique and tactile, and like it was realistically 10 years ahead of like everything we're seeing now with like the ROGs and the Steam Decks and stuff like that. But
you know, I missed the PSP.
You never had one.
No. I missed the PSP entirely. I had the Game Boy because of Pokemon, and like that was the only reason to get. So, all right, I am ancient enough that the original Game Boy, like before it even had a backlit screen, was a thing that like the richest kid I knew had when I was a kid, but that was not there. There was just no way I was gonna have one.
Yeah.
But the Game Boy Advance, by the time that came around, I think it was the Game Boy Advance anyway. Moderate speed melee weapon, it won't let me use it. Okay, but by the time that came around, you know, I had scraped together just enough of my own money to be able to pull that together to be one of the cool Pokemon kids that could actually like plug stuff in and trade Pokemans, but that was not a normal occurrence.
Yeah. What else was around? It was like I remember. I loved my PS2. I thought it was excellent. I like with the 360. I think the 360 was the best thing to come around until the PS4 came around.
Oh, for sure.
Just for the sake of something I remember fondly about it, and I think we talked about this before, is that there were indie games that they had such an open storefront with what they allowed, like small publishers or just anybody who could get through the approval process to put on there. Which it was a lot harder for people to make the kind of mistakes that would get a game like not allowed on that platform because it was so much harder to make games like 10, 15 years ago. Or no, yeah, it would have to be 15, 20 now. That's crazy.
I got.
That's right. But yeah, I remember like picking up like the free indie games and shit, and that was like always awesome. And then the PS3 came around, and you gotta watch some of the YouTube what are they called, the little mini docs that YouTubers make about like the PS3 development, like what they were trying to turn it into, because I always found it fascinating how they were trying to make like a super advanced, all-encompassing home entertainment system so early, which sucks because like they missed the boat on the fact that you could pretty much hook an iPad up to a cable and you would have that no matter what now if you really wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
Or when people started home labbing.
Can I get one of them revives, boys? A revive, please.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh shit! Wait! Come on!
Get over there. I'll defend.
Ow!
Oh
I'm getting him up.
no!
Brother! Hold on. He can come back.
I can come back. I'll be back.
Oh
no! Oh no!
What?
Okay. Well, I did not know
What?
that would happen.
No
I would have said some shit earlier. I guess so.
Oh,
wow.
My
okay.
bad, huh?
All right, it just puts us back to checkpoint. All right, I guess we're really gonna watch each other.
Team lock in.
Checkpoint.
Lock in, I guess.
Yeah. I should have been more locked in. I was staring at the guy in my chat who I'm pretty sure is about to try and sell me graphic design. And then if he does, I'm gonna nuke him from orbit. And then, because he said he just dropped a follow. Oh, there's the follow. Okay. But I think he's about to tell me, like, how to buy viewers or some bullshit like that. And then, you know, I'm going to feed him to whatever monster I find first. But if it's not that, then I apologize. Anyway, so I was looking at that, and then I looked to the left, and I saw, you know, a Ravener grabbed me. And I missed the fucking prompt, and it was entirely my own fault.
You know what? And there's this one game I remember so distinctly. It was so cool.
That Ravener right there, son of a bitch.
Do you remember Turok? Do you remember what that game is?
I do know Turok.
Okay.
Yes, Turok was awesome.
It was because Turok's an older franchise. It's kind of like Doom retro shooter. But there was a Turok that came out, and I want to say 2007. And it was like it was trying to do what? Do you remember Crysis? You remember that one?
You know what? I didn't play Crysis either. So listen, I have class jumped a couple of times in my life, and I went from being like the dirtiest of poor to like okay by the time I was a late teenager to like where I'm at now in my 30s, you know, like, so I had like, I was one of those guys that had like 2 video games, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And one of them was
I know what
Final
you mean.
Fantasy VIII, so I totally missed like a ton of them.
You have served your emperor well.
It's like so, but yeah, it was like kind of like it was when first-person shooters started to transition into like this 3D realm. But like,
Yeah.
it was such a cool idea. Like, I don't know why like video game developers don't want to play around with the idea of dinosaurs anymore.
They do.
I think that's great.
Oh, they fucking do. Okay, so
Wait, who remembers on the Xbox 360 that Doritos promo game where you were
Oh,
a dinosaur
shit.
Oh, I don't-
the Doritos truck?
Maybe.
I do not remember that at all. But dude, they're still
was
rocking
really
some
funny.
dinosaur stuff. They actually just hit there's a whole game like an extraction shooter it's like you're like what is it? It's Ark
Ark Raiders?
Survival,
Is that what you're talking about? Ark
yeah,
Raiders?
something like that.
Oh yeah.
But it's you know, you're doing the extraction shooter thing, which is what everything has to be an extraction shooter these days. So you're doing the extraction shooter thing plus dinosaurs, man. They love dinosaurs.
It's stuff like that, but like I mean, I don't know. Maybe not even just dinosaurs. I remember there was a vibe that came with a certain era of video gaming. It was gritty, and it was like Modern Warfare 2, and it was what else was it? It was Gears of War, and it was Resistance, and it was even before that it was like Fear. Fear is one
Okay.
of the best shooters ever. Yeah, Fear was probably the best first-person shooter I could think of, but it's like there was like a grit and like a dark kind of like way to not being afraid of being anything else except cringe chungus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because because everything is kind of like Quark chungus now with what's it called? I mean, look what they just did to God of War. You got to look at the discourse on that.
Oh no, I'm aware.
like-
So like for video game culture war stuff, there's 2 parts, right? The reason that everything is quirk chungus is the same reason that everything's like safe horny. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's that everything has to pass HR review at some point or another, right?
You could only be attracted to like the drunk 5 with grandma tits. Like that's all you're allowed
Right.
to
Well,
be attracted to.
yeah, well,
now in a
you
video
have to
game.
be, so you have to paint the lady who's going to be able to pull the lawsuit on you. You have to be able to paint her as the most attractive character, because otherwise
Exactly.
she's going to sue you, and it's ridiculous. But
It's a strange bit of social conditioning because it's like on a certain level. I mean, I can't imagine that like everybody who makes video. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be so wrong on this, but I can't imagine that everybody in the video game industry is an active homosexual or like a self-insert
No.
like woman that never took care of herself. Like, you know what I mean? Like
No.
can't be that.
But here's the thing. They don't all have to be. Here's what it is. There's going to be one very confused fellow who wears knee-high socks on the program
Sure.
team, and he rules. By the way, like he's a great programmer, and he runs the Discord that everybody, you know, all the devs are on, and
Because of course he does.
yeah, and he's going to absolutely make a giant fucking problem with HR if you say, "Oh, hey man, thanks. I'm sorry. No, I'm a girl, just so you know." And like that's it. Now the whole fucking team is exploded because that, like, legally speaking, until the last like 6 months, it was enough of a gray area that the the legal team would be like, "I don't know, guys, just fucking do you want to fire him or do you want to play along?" Right? And so and they wanted to keep this, you know, power dev, and so they would play along. But that shit's going away. Like it's in the process of going away since there was a straight up thing from, I forget what the department is in America, that actually had to make a straight up statement saying, "Hey guys, if you discriminate against white men, that's also illegal discrimination. So don't do
Yeah.
that either." And like everybody flipped the fuck out, right? Like wait a minute, I thought this was all, like, it sure seemed like this was all like just how do you make everything black and gay? What are you doing? Like, what do you mean it's not just for black and gay? So And that came as a surprise to a lot of people, like genuinely, who never thought that far through in it. But the other thing...
but this creates a problem, though. The issue that this creates is that we have lived in an era of social conditioning that the only things that could be seen as funny outside of their new all art is political paradigm is either like self-depreciating humor about an identity that people are that they're uncomfortable with themselves already, or punching, or of what they say, quote unquote, punching up at a group as they say that they see as ontologically evil. And when you're not allowed to do that anymore, what personality is left?
Well,
right?
exactly.
All it's just going to be like suicidal self-anti-empathy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a really great side effect to the all art is political thing, which is like why I wanted to play 40K stuff while we talk about this. Because, sure, okay, let's play all art is political. Guess what? This game's not satire.
Hey, guess what? Press left on your D-pad so I can hear For the Emperor.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can't... like, all right, look, they were hitting, everyone is racist for the last decade. And then in the last 18 months, it's kind of turned where, like, a lot of the most powerful people culturally on the planet have turned around and said, okay, yeah, hell yeah, I am. Now what? And it's like, oh, fuck.
Well,
that's...
I mean, look, even that, though, look, even that can get turned into... like an annoy. Look, and I gotta be honest with you. I understand. I'm starting to understand how older people think this is their way of fighting back against Satan in their own way about like the. I just saw somebody on Twitter and I was actually kind of defending him. This guy who like just got his wife's pregnancy announcement. He had his Glock on the table.
Nice.
Like next to him inside of the thing. And yeah, was it a little LARPy and like a little bit cringe? Yeah, sure. I mean, it is. But like at the same time, it's like with the anti-racism thing, it's like that can turn into a little bit of like a cringy LARP. And the only reason I make that statement is because the only reason I make that comment is because the broader scope of history indicates that people understood that walls can exist. People always understood walls can exist. It's not hatred. No, I don't think there's I don't think there's vast portion. Now, it's spite and animosity could be used. You could say those words because people get sick of each other if they don't assimilate into each other's crowd.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say it's like this visceral, they hate me for my skin color. Whatever. I don't think there's a lot of people that think like that.
Well,
I'd be shocked.
I think when people talk about like hating, anytime somebody posts about like, oh, it's crazy to hate somebody for the color of their skin, my pithy response is to say, oh, no, it's not about the color, it's about the smell. Because they're not expecting it, and it's still very rude, But, like...
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. But it's more to say, like, hey, everything is indicators. Like, okay, if I'm listening for your accent because I want to know whether you grew up anywhere like I grew up, or if it's from somewhere else. Because if it's from somewhere else, I can expect you to expect different things, and I don't know what those things are going to be necessarily. Because like everybody talks about like the you're Laotian, ain't you, Mr. Khan? Right, like that meme, but.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to be a racism autist to know that, like, hey, people are different, and that actually means they're going to do different things, and they're going to expect different things from you. And, like, you're going to, if you're going to try and work with different people, then that means you're going to have to either...
Navigate the differences.
Navigate those differences in a constructive way, or mitigate them if it's not going to be constructive, And if what those differences are is that, like, oh, well, people from my culture, like to drag little girls into our places of worship and do terrible, awful things to them for decades at a time, then I'm not going to work with you or your culture. And like, but okay, that's a cultural thing for you. I understand. That's fine. I'm aware of it. I understand that. And no, I'm not going to leave my wife in a room with you under any circumstances because I know that, you know. Now, is that racism? Yes. But it has nothing to do with the color of their skin and everything to do with how they pray.
No, dude. I don't think that's like I think like that's weird, like because what really is racism? Like the purported accusation of it is so ridiculous. Like when you're having a discussion with somebody, it's like, okay, well, I think Islam is satanic and destructive, or
Which
think,
is obvious.
Or I think African witchcraft is like satanic and destructive, and
sure,
and like like I'm using those, I guess, vehicles because a lot of cultures are downstream of their local religions. Like as a Greek, I'll tell you,
I would say all cultures are.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think all cultures, yeah.
I don't think that people can ever be divorced from their religion.
So we see what happens when they try to, you know.
Yeah,
like,
they tried it.
Yeah. the entire
they tried to take Christianity from the West, and now we don't know who we are.
Exactly.
Even look at the Middle East.
Or the Russians.
What happened is they've distanced themselves from Islam. They don't know what to do with themselves either.
Yeah. Which totally makes sense.
No, Monk, you're wrong. And Dubai chocolate, they know exactly what to do. It's Dubai chocolate.
True.
Well, and see, but that's just it, right? Like here you have some very well-to-do parts of like nations, whole nations that are doing great and should be like making leaps and bounds compared to just their entire history. They are terraforming the oceans into like cute little islands that they can build buildings on, skyscrapers to rival, the Tower of Babylon. And in the midst of all that,
roughly the same place too.
Yeah, exactly. And in the midst of all that, what do you know? Dubai chocolate. Like what? I think these are the ways that it has to go, right? Like I think that the reason that I refer to it as demonic each step along the way. It's not like, oh, well, I know the particular demon's name. Oh, it's from this catalog of demonology. Oh my goodness, they do have them. Yes, I know. I'm well aware.
We don't know it. It's still there.
Well, and I've actually taken to treating the.
He might have donated to the podcast.
Do what?
He might have donated to our podcast.
Well.
Yeah,
me and my secretary have this fun joke. It's like, listen, when we're acting, Pat, do you think Christ is with us when we're misbehaving? No. Whatever entity is here has 3 left hands and hates us, and has an incomprehensible name.
Well, it's unfortunate when you do comprehend any of this. So giving it other names, like part of the reason that I've started treating, this is very silly of me, but part of the reason that I treat the Warhammer demon names kind of seriously is that they're valid archetypes, and it's as good of a name as any. When I'm not going to, like, if I did know the actual names, I'm not going to say them out loud, for fuck's sake. And if it's not this, that actually doesn't matter, because oh my god, there was some other like stupid posters arguing about Warhammer deity names on Twitter today, and it was like, well, no, the point is for it to be wrong because it's a chaos god. Like the reason that this one's pronouns change all the time is because it's supposed to be whatever it is that's the worst at that particular juncture. That's what they are. And so, like, because that's the point of them having gender, is that it's the wrong one, you know?
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, that, but to treat these...
They didn't like to hear that.
No, they did not enjoy that. They never do. Like, the way that all the... So, last week, Antifa took a nice bloody nose because there was some sentencing that went through. Do you remember earlier this year or last year when those guys tried to hit an ICE facility and they were throwing fireworks at it, and they were all armed.
I think so.
and-
Didn't like a couple politicians show up to that? Yeah,
Yeah, of course. No. Okay, no, that's a different thing. That's a different one. The politicians are going to court. That the sentencing has not yet occurred. There's no verdict in that one yet, but there is from last year because like one of the guys that was like in the facility got killed from the gunfire and whatever else. None of the it's just about jump back time. So there was like 9 of them, and like they've been sentenced to like 400 years because it was actually like
good.
Wait a minute. Did I not grab them? Okay, I guess it's not actually time yet. Okay, but
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay. They're sentenced to like 400 years because it is actually like, oh no, this was a terrorist attack, and so each one of the things that you did is counting as a separate terrorist attack, and so we're gonna hit you for all of them. And there's 9, and like even like one guy that was just like hiding evidence, or like he told his wife, "Oh my God, erase my phone," and she did, so she's going too, kind of a thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like, "Oh my God, honey, erase the hard drives" type shit, and she did.
Shit.
Yeah, because it was not like they're so used to, oh, we had a protest or a demonstration, and we threw bricks at cops, and then we got bailed out by a senator. Not this time, pal. This time, you actually did the real shit, and they're gonna get you with the real shit, right? Mm-hmm. And so they were all freaking out about that. Oh my God, 400 years for carrying zines? No, 400 years for trying to remove the evidence from the scene, and it doesn't matter what evidence it was, and you knew that at the time, and you did it anyway. So yes, right.
I think that's one of the most frustrating things about the left. It's like, look, you'll have guys on the right, and they'll do something or say something, and agree with it or not, whatever the case may be, they will stick their chest out and they'll be like, "Come get me, MF," or they don't care. They don't care. They see their
in that.
Like
yeah,
what?
they have dignity and they have dignity.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have concerns about that because I know that there are some examples. Do what?
I do too, for sure. But what I'm saying is like the womanish, not womanish. It's worse than womanish. It's like women have more dignity than these people.
There is a word for it, and I'd mentioned before the idea of like Loki and how the reason that he was wrong was the woman's magic, Yeah. There's a word for it, and I forget what it is. But yeah, they're performing woman's
it's like
magic.
Sniveling and pathetic. And it's like, no, well we like, and it's but the thing is like when you're playing that kind of game, they hate so much so much more than any of the hate that they accuse anybody else of.
Sure, of course.
Like, this is something else super interesting about the discourse that I've been seeing too. It's like I've been seeing a lot of tweets about this where they're like, what's his name? A homophobic doctor would gladly treat and save the life of a transgender individual in their care, while a transgender doctor would either outright refuse to treat a homophobe or intentionally let them die or kill them inside of the operating room.
Or at least not try very hard.
Yeah. They would let you die for the sake of their ideology, and I actually have pointed out that that's because they actually mean it. And we still have, on the right, we have a lot of people who 1,000% do not understand where they are or what time it is. Shuon had just put out a video this week, and she started off with you didn't want to be in a race war? Too bad, you're in one, right?
I thought that was an older video. I saw that. I was like, no way, she just said that.
She said that this week, right? And when you consider like the arc, like her arc in this, where like she's a fucking Bernie bro, and now it's like, by the way, nope, we're just doing race war now. That's what we're all up to. Whether you like it or not, you don't get to pick, because there's actually enough people who have identified you as an enemy, and they fucking mean it. Sorry, man, it's not a Cold War. It's a hot war. So we got to act like it's a hot war. And there's a lot of people who just simply are not doing that. You know. Now, when I say things like that, people will go like, what do you mean it's a fucking hot war? What are you doing? Are you just like sneaking around at the night and assassinating people? No. I'm the war radio guy. I'm the Good Morning Vietnam guy. Okay, let's calm down for a second. But
I'm the Good Morning Vietnam guy outside of Vietnam.
Yeah, right.
That's,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I am very cozy at home.
The assistant to the radio guy.
You're the assistant.
Exactly.
You're assistant Good Morning Vietnam, but it's like that. But
Good
like
Morning
the thing
Vietnam, like New Hampshire edition.
You know, but here's the thing. I feel like there's kind of a connection with the idea of like, I don't want to. I think there's two parts to the idea of the guy who doesn't have his eyes all the way open to the attitude. And keep in mind, like, I think it's also important to say that like nobody wants like the death that is coming. Nobody wants this level of like carnage, and like nobody asked for this 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
But I don't think that's true either. There are people that have been literally demanding it the whole time.
So not like normal, sincere.
No.
Like to hope.
No, not normal people, but like okay. So, as a consequence of me always being around like fucking weirdos, because I'm a fucking weirdo and I understand that,
sure.
But a consequence of me being around fucking weirdos the entire time is that like, hey, like the Black Panther type people, those dudes exist. They've always existed, and the goal has always been kill every single white person. Like, that's it, right? That has on the face. Like, and they would tell you if you ever asked, you know, like, oh hell, like, I could be doing business with them. We could have been working together for years.
On the street and seen like a black Israelite.
No,
the black Hebrew Israelites too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, no, I just mean like regular, what you would assume is like a regular based black dude. But like, if you ask him 2 extra questions, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I mean, and then we're gonna kill all the white people. But first, you know, we got to do this and we got to do that and da 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 da. Oh yeah, and of course we're gonna kill all the white people." And it's like, oh okay, you know.
And see, but this was happening 60 years ago. Though.
Yeah, this was happening the whole time.
This was happening 60 years ago when they would say this stuff, and then some liberal arts student would come out and say, "Well, no, you." Well,
he doesn't mean that.
Coming from a place of pain, and there's like this,
there's
this collective nuance. So it's like, well, why are you telling me this? I mean, they just told me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like talking to Turks about Greeks. Like, how can I?
I mean, like, the Nation of Islam was founded in like the 50s. Like, this isn't new.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and I'm sure there was some bullshit before that too. Like, I don't think.
It didn't come out of nowhere.
I don't think the
just
tribalism
ask
thing
the Polish
ever.
How they feel about the Germans? Ask the Polish how they feel about the Germans.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I have. There's a Polish guy who hangs out on stream with me from time to time, and very humorously, another guy who does voice work that hangs out had been like, "Oh, that's a great accent. What is that? His German accent?" And he fucking went. I was laughing very hard. But he was so fucking angry. What the fuck did you say to me? You know, he went for it the entire way. Who the fuck are you? It was such a who the fuck are you?
I was talking to there's this Polish chick I'm talking to. She was like crying happy on the phone. They won the one soccer game against Germany like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, or whatever.
I believe
soccer has to be like the most nationalist sport, like.
It's the only way
good thing about
Euros could. It's the only way Euros could like commit violence against one another in like this. I don't know what it is with my people, bro. Like, my continent is so odd, where it's like we have like this fluffy deposition towards like everybody else in the world. But when it comes to each other, we want to just like hang each other with shoelaces. I don't know where it comes from, but.
There's the dash. That's what I was trying to figure out how the hell to do. We're in business now. All right.
We're in business.
Get them. All right. So I think that, like, it's not unreasonable with what happened to Europe. It is not unreasonable that, whoops, shit. It's not unreasonable. We're supposed to go up. That, like, everybody got real jumpy about, nationalistic violence in the last 60 years in Europe. Like, of course, it would be crazy not to. It's very scary. Y'all had the very scariest of, oh, shit.
We had one hell of a war. We did.
You did. You had two.
You had two hells of a war.
You had
we
two
had
back to back.
No, and then sprinkled around is like whatever the Bosnians and the Serbs want to do to each other every other week, and then on top of that, it's like then you throw in a little bit of IRA with the Brits, and just whatever. There's always something to fight over.
You know what? I recently found out the IRA was commies, and I'm really annoyed by that.
It is. Nobody likes them. Don't hang out with people that tell you, oh yeah, IRA is based or whatever. Yeah, those people are scum. It's like the British. Like, people like the idea of, like, black
sticking it to the blitter.
Kind of like vigilante terrorism. Like, the vibes kind of catch people, but
it's a hell of a vibe.
The sentiment of the IRA is one of complete anti-imperialism and like Nat sock anarchism. That's the entire point of these people.
Damn it.
It's just too bad.
That's the whole vibe. And trust me, listen. When Call of Duty Ghosts came out, I like the whole idea of like running around with like a suppressor and a ski mask. That sounds like a blast, but it's like you can. But like keeping the kind of people that like those people like a lot for a reason usually don't know how to even work a gun. To like guys with guns that much.
Sure.
Let's just put it that way.
Although I've unfortunately no. Wait a minute. Where are they shooting me from? Where are we supposed to go? I'm so turned around. I'm maybe that one.
Let's just go over this hump. Screw it. I mean, here this way probably.
You're stuck. I'm stuck. Like wants me to catch up.
Here. There's this fight over here. I guess. I mean, we're supposed to. Oh, here we go. If they're spawning out of here, that means we're supposed to be over here.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's like
go towards violence.
Exactly. There's like a certain thing with I mean, Americans, I guess they're kind of like moving into the place where it's like subculture is starting to rear its head once again. Like I feel like the reason things have been so boring and kind of weird for the past 10, 15 years and nothing's felt quite right is because I think it's inclusivity, but I think the kind of inclusivity you think I'm talking about with like the forced thing or whatever, and like the vibes of like Obama administration, whatever. Like that's not precisely what I'm talking about. It's kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Like everything needs to be everything, but nobody saw nothing meaning anything anymore.
Yeah, of course. Well, when you try and include it turns out that who you exclude is important. Haunt, good evening, Pessimist, sir. But,
Haunt's finally here.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's the early stream. This is the early stream. See, place Melta charges. Ooh, oh. All right, let's get that guy.
I mean, one of the most important means of defining anything is what it isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly. What it is and what it isn't. And they're trying to leave out the what it isn't all the time. And I really do think that it's the sort of, the greatest trick that Satan ever performed was convincing everyone that he's not real sort of thing. Because,
define darkness without just telling me it's not light.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly. There's no, this is why they hate borders. This is why they hate all of it is because the idea is to mix it all together until it's nothing, right? Until it is all equal, and for they even ruin the idea of equality by mistaking it for the same. It's wrong to begin with. Both morally and just factually wrong, kind of a thing.
Alright, do something about this.
A new
Zorothro.
I think an important notion that's been lost from our society is hierarchy. In
Yeah.
the sense that
Of course.
things can be ranked while still being equal.
Yeah, well, because
That's
they're
very
different, you know, and it's one of their like founding myths, essentially, that equal cannot do that. Actually, you know, like the idea of equal but separate is anathema to them because it's, for one, obviously true, and then secondly, immediately tells everyone like, oh, well, that is actually okay to do. You know, it is okay to not actually, not everything has to be all mushed together. There's this stupid audio drop about a mongrel race. You'll destroy both races, right? And these old Opie and Anthony audio drop. But like, no, that's legit. Like, if you just want to make one big human soup, that's what you want? You don't want any Italians? You don't want any Chinese?
No.
No, human soup.
God forbid.
Now, this has always bummed me out for two reasons, this little cutscene right here. Because first of all, I really enjoy AdMech, and they killed the tech priest, and that bums me out.
We like the tech priest.
We enjoy tech priests, although this tech priest was a fuck. And then secondarily, like, how fast are you that you're already there scrawling demonic runes on shit? You're already graffitiing everything and throwing, like, demon names on stuff? It's the first shit you do? Come on.
I forget this is when we just get introduced to chaos in the game.
Yeah. Well, and remember, like, the whole point with, oh no, I can't remember his name right now. The main character guy, the whole point with him is that, you know, he had fought off chaos in a really serious way, like, 200 years ago. And then this is his first mission out of the Death Watch. Death Watch is, think like church stormtroopers, essentially, right? Like, specifically, like, instead of just being vaguely related to the Pope, it's like, hey, you're on probation, but I'm still going to have you doing work for me. You're my special
It's kind of like,
guys.
yeah, it's kind
You
of
know?
like almost, what's it called? Like almost Arbiter from Halo, yeah. Exactly. Jinx.
Exactly.
Fucking-
Yeah, oh, that's another thing. Me and him are the same person.
Right.
Yeah, we're the same person.
So, you know, after 100 and some odd years, they go, all right, man, well, as best we can tell, you just fucking rule. You really are that good. Because, okay, to be fair, it is very suspicious for there to be a man who can stand in the presence of a greater demon of anything and walk away, right? Like, consider the paradigm being that, you know, there is no salvation of Christ in this, you know, to stand with you. So it is just a man standing before this, like, excuse me? How the fuck did you do that? That's suspicious as hell. That's not supposed to be possible, right? So they kept an eye on him for over a century about that. And he's finally back with his own chapter. And this is the mission in which this is going on. So for him...
Yeah, he has the Inquisitorius, like, up his ass, like, the entire game.
The entire...
He's like the most suspicious person in like the entire Marine Corps.
Yeah, well, and of course, he really should be, because, like, hey, the only way you can do this is if God blesses you individually. And it's like, really? You're blessed by God personally? And that's a completely alien... Well, it's not completely alien, but, like, yeah, they have saints.
But it's weird.
But it's fucking weird, and there's way more false saints than there are real ones, you know. So, you know. And actually, I don't... So here's a orthodox question. Do y'all have a plague of false saints? Does that happen with y'all?
Okay. Not as many as you would think, but there's a couple.
Okay.
Who were officially canonized, or who were just like...
Who were absolutely officially canonized, yeah.
Well, I don't mean the official ones. I mean the ones who I mean, are there people who were rejected for canonization because it's like, oh no, I know what you're up to, like that kind of shit. Were there guys? Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm talking about.
Personality cults that form, I'm sure.
I was going to talk about the ones that made it through the. Okay, so here's a couple things. When somebody, there's a couple reasons why somebody may be declared a saint, and even before that, it needs to be said that there are millions and millions and millions of holy people glorified in heaven that, if somebody did end up praying to them in some strange hypothetical, miracles may happen through them.
Right.
But you know, God intentionally, usually by the request of that person, after they go to their reward, decides to stay hidden from the world for the sake of their own humility. Because humility isn't like this thing where it needs kind of a performative result at the end of it. Like a good example is probably one of the most famous saints of the past couple hundred years, Saint Nectarios of Egina, who was a personal friend of another saint who baptized my great grandparents. Saint Nectarios, there's a story about when he has an excellent life. I'll actually send you a thing about him after. And there's a movie with him. You should go watch. You and your wife would love to watch it. It's called Man of God. It's like a full Hollywood production film, probably like the first of its kind for an Orthodox movie. You guys would love it. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. But when you guys watch that movie, it doesn't mention a lot of stuff about his life from when I read it when I was a little kid. One of the things that it doesn't mention is that after he died, what happens is sometimes if somebody reaches that level of holiness and God wants it to happen to them, their relics will be incorrupt. Their body just won't decay for 50, 60 years at a time. And it needs to be said, forgive me any Catholics in there, you guys don't do it the same way we do it. Because when the Catholic Church does it, they'll like dip the full body in wax, or they'll like have like a piece of like some pre-schism saint that still has like skin or hair on it or whatever.
Sure.
Like I can drive 20 minutes from where I'm at right now and go to a monastery, and that saint that I told you about that baptized my great grandparents, everything is still there on him, and he died in 1940.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it's not. And the only thing that is not skin and bone, that's not skin and hair and stuff like that, is his head, because there's like a miracle attached to the day the nuns were washing his head after his funeral. As soon as they took him out of the ocean, when they were washing his face, his eyes and skin and hair and everything just gone immediately. Like it just disappeared. And there was like a whole thing. And he still smells like roses and frankincense every time you go up there. It doesn't even smell like a body. And stuff like that happens all the time.
That's very interesting. I wonder, so like from an outside point of view, of course, it seems like the kind of thing that would be easy to test and say that's not happening, right? If it's not. And so it's interesting that there's not a specific like, yeah, all right, hi, here's a dude that's got nothing to do with y'all. I'm showing up. I'm looking like the special fire that y'all were.
Oh, the holy light.
Yeah.
Close, yeah.
Which, you know, it seems like the kind of thing that would be very easy for someone who's got nothing to do with y'all to just go yes or no, real quick, you know, but. I don't know whose account you would ever take. Like, how would anybody get close enough to be allowed to experience and or test without fucking it up, where they could be trusted to tell the truth thereafter, you know?
See, here's the funny part about that. It's like, when it comes to stuff like, okay, what happens way more every year is crying icons, for example.
Yeah.
Like literally thin pieces of plywood with like a saint or Christ or the Virgin Mary painted on them, just like streaming literal buckets of like olive oil and honey not honey, water. Actually, no, we have had honey streaming icons before, but that's like rare. But it's like stuff like that, you know, when that's in front of you, because keep in mind, here in Greece, there is a massive movement of atheists.
Sure.
The Greek atheism movement, which is super tied to the Communist Party here, has been well and alive for at least
What
the
a
past 100
shock.
years.
The atheism movement is tied to the communist movement? Well, I've never heard such a thing in my life. That's completely unheard of. That's ridiculous. This kind of slander, I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to sit. God damn. These motherfuckers.
And these people have tried to produce their own little variations of their own Dawkins, their own like who's the other guy? Who's Sam Harris? Like there's a whole bunch of like debate bros in the Greek kind of cable network rotation on the news. And keep in mind, we've talked about this as well about like this idea of Europe transitioning into like this sensible, secular kind of like, church is nice, but it's like a convenient cultural tool. There's plenty of, especially in Northern Europe, it didn't catch on in Greece quite as well, thank God. But it's like when it comes to these types, when they see something so glaringly obvious as like a crying icon that doesn't even have the mass to hold a day's worth of the oil or the water that's spilling out of it, or you see an incorrupt body that we don't even embalm in Greece, let alone embalm our monks or our priests. So I mean, it's like when you see something like that, they look at those situations and say, well, the less I touch it, the less it disproves my worldview, so I'm just not going to comment.
Well, right. Now, see, there's that also. It would be of incredible value for those of us who are in between the Reddit Dawkins bullshit, and when I'm exploring these things, I'm trying to do it in a constructive manner, and so I don't. Okay, when they were talking about the holy light, it was a thing where I went, I probably shouldn't talk too much shit just because I'm not trying to upset my new pal Ortho Chat, and I don't know what the magic word is going to be that actually pisses him off about this.
No.
So
I'll never
I didn't want to throw that.
With you. You're one of my best friends. No, I'm not
well, thank you. But I also,
the thing is,
I didn't know what
I
the
do wanna
respectful
explain
line was going to be when I'm trying to be respectful, when I'm making an effort to be respectful, while still saying like, hey guys, if I was going to fake this, I would fake it like A, B, and C, and I really need you to show me that you didn't do that real quick, because I'm a con artist motherfucker, and so I just need you to show me that you didn't do these couple of things real fast. Can you do that?
It's reasonable to look at that specific miracle and that be the one like a lot of people latch onto and say, since it could be, this is the most plausible thing that could be lied about because of how secretive and exclusive it is.
Sure.
And the reason for that is because this is an ancient tradition, like going back to St. James of Jerusalem, where the patriarch of Jerusalem, whoever it may be, goes inside, and then it's kind of like it's a blue light, which we've always described the uncreated light being this blue swirling light at the top of. There's more instances of the uncreated light appearing to people in their own personal instances, like saints talking about like these, like, them coming to the discovery of prayer of the heart, stuff like that. But this specific situation where that light will swirl about at the top of the tomb of Christ and then come down upon the candle of the bishop, and then he starts distributing it, and then when they start singing Eftelate, which is like come receive the light, then people's candles will start like flickering like randomly throughout the sepulcher when there's a whole bunch of people there, and that's happened. That's a little more of a recent thing, like about a millennium more recent than that actual miracle started happening, but like, the kind of tricky parts of it is, how do you prove it? Well, nobody's really allowed inside. It's like it's usually the Muslim or Jewish guards that pat down the patriarch and let them in. So it's like that's their part of the verification. And then, but the other.
Not that I trust those cats. like at all.
Yeah, sure. It's like, but I mean, keep in mind they do hate us. So I mean,
No,
that's
I
just
know.
one thing
I mean,
that helps.
I know.
If the Israelis could get any chance to humiliate the Greek patriarchate, they'd absolutely take it.
No, I mean, they're already stealing all the
for
land.
sure.
It's but the other part of it is like, so, you know, when television started to kind of become a platform for neo-secularism, there's a whole bunch of videos that you could find from like back in the 80s and 90s newscasts in Greece of people going on there and being like, oh well, they're phosphorus candles, or they're this, or they're that. And now this conversation, like since the Twitter holy war kind of started, you have all these younger guys like putting candles up to their face, and it's like, oh look, you know, it doesn't burn me, and it's like, and then you see like hair singeing off them, even though
Yes. Yeah.
There is a couple things to admit though. Are there times that the holy light did not light inside of the tomb? Yeah, absolutely. There were a couple. There were a couple instances where it didn't happen, but there were reasons for why it happened. Like, so for example, when we so the Orthodox Church traditionally uses an adjusted variation of the Julian calendar to calculate the feast days of our liturgical calendar of when things happened. Like, for example, Christ in our equivalent secular calendar was born on January 7th.
Okay.
And for example, like, you know, on these days specifically, like using the calendar that the churches always use, the adjusted Julian calendar, which in the church we call the old calendar, on Theophany, which is the day Christ was baptized in the Jordan by John the Baptist, which is also my sister's birthday.
Nice.
The Jordan River will actually flow in the opposite direction. That's been happening I don't know if it still happens. I think it still happens. But I mean, I haven't been to Jerusalem yet. So
I've never heard of that.
You never heard of that? Oh, dude, look it up. It's fucking crazy. But but anyway, like when there was one instance. So what happened was eventually, though, about 100 years ago, the Greek Orthodox Church had a patriarch. Athinagoras Metaxa. Oh wait, sorry, we get a cut off. Oh no, somebody died. Wait. There we go. So 100 years ago, we had a patriarch named Meletios Metaxakis, not Athinagoras. Athinagoras came right after him. But Meletios decided that we were going to change our calendar, and this was all a bigger part of this was a small part of what was the bigger ecumenical project, is what they called it. It was a concerted effort, which I think, you know, God forgive me if I misrepresent the patriarchs of the past, but I think it was a very evil and demonically inspired idea for us to go down such a road, for us to go in a position where we're sacrificing elements of orthodoxy to make nice with the Catholic and Protestant churches.
Yeah,
that is the layman's representation of what that whole thing is, and it's still occurring in
For
ways.
Metsakakis, it was mostly the Catholics, though. He was like best friends with.
Yeah, but by the time,
I forget his name.
I kind of told you a little bit about this in the past, though. By the time Athinagoras and Demetrios kind of came along, and now this was. And now Elphinophoros, this is now like recapitulated into kind of every religion that like exists all the way, and it's awful, and it's God angering in the nicest way I could say that. But
well,
anyway,
it's also like a basic conceptual failure, right? Like if what you've been up to is the correct way to do any of these things, right? Then changing them for any reason is obviously going to be a bad fucking idea, right? Like, there's no the reason. Like, my main draw, the reason that I'm the most interested in Orthodoxy is because it's the least fucked with. You know,
yeah.
like
it is, and we have problems, but it is indeed the least fucked with.
You know, and so I can't time travel, so I can't go back and witness anything on my own for any of this, right? Sure. However, the idea of having an unbroken line of priests sure sounds nice. That sure sounds helpful. Like, at the very least, no matter what else has gone on, like, oh no, to have it be that, like, well, I do actually know the guy who knew the guy who knew the guy who knew the guy that was there. You know,
exactly.
like, that's way better than, I don't know, some fucking dude said so. Yeah, which dude?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
like, to not
exactly.
even have a good answer for which dude kind of sucks. You know?
Yeah. It's like, but you know, anyway.
One of the betas
What-
and start religion in garage.
The problem is like by the time that happened, we transitioned over to an adjusted Gregorian calendar, which is now called the New Calendar. This is used only by the Ecumenical Patriarchate, which is essentially the Church of Greece, the newly formed Church of Greece, which is basically the church that controls half of Greece that the Ecumenical Patriarch made to be in direct control of Greece after our war with the Turks.
Okay.
I think Alexandria, which is Africa, uses New Calendar.
Would.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, no kidding. And that's about it, I think. But the majority of the Orthodox. No. John would never stand for it. No. But
and then Jerusalem doesn't because
Jerusalem would, because Jerusalem's the goat.
and that was the year the Holy Fire didn't come, was when they changed.
That's the story I was going to tell. So what happened is that when we transitioned over to this new calendar, we attempted to do the date of Pascha, because the way we calculate, so the First Ecumenical Council decided that the calculation of the day that Christ was the day that Christ was risen from the dead, was always the first Sunday after the first full moon after Passover. This is generally the calculation, and the reason that we didn't just say
Passover.
Yeah, Jewish Passover, because Pascha does mean Passover. This is the new Passover. Yeah. It's like in the way that the Archangel Michael. Yeah, then the way that the Archangel Michael passed over the houses of the Jews that painted the lamb's blood on, because antagonist, I think I told you that the Archangel Michael is the angel of death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that makes sense.
So then,
and the lamb's blood's a little on the nose.
Yeah, exactly. And the way that Taxiarchios is the passed over those houses, the Lord passed over the faithful and defeated death by death, and so on and so forth. But the first ecumenical council decided that it was important for the day the Lord rose to be celebrated on the day that we celebrate that same resurrection. So Pascha is always on a Sunday, and we also calculate Lent by that same metric. Now, again, with the Holy Fire, the ecumenical councils, it's like they do sound wordy and kind of rule inspired and logistical and stuff, but we do see unequivocally the results and the decrees of these councils as authoritative as the scripture itself. Like these are equivalent to Bible in every way, shape, and form. And as a result, the results of these decrees have produced their own miracles, the Holy Light kind of being one of a number of them. But in saying that, we decided after this decree by Meletios a century ago that we were going to attempt to celebrate Pascha on a new calendar calculation. And the Holy Light didn't happen that year. And that scared the Patriarch of Jerusalem so bad that everybody kind of collectively said, okay, this is a sign from God that the entire thing might be a horrible idea, but since nobody's really budging on this issue, we're just going to make sure to celebrate Pascha on the old calendar.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. First of all, the idea of being like, oh, hey, God, I know you're coming on Sunday, but it's really going to be Tuesday. Can you do Tuesday? It's the most insane and human shit that I've ever heard in my fucking life. If you're going to accept, okay, a very heretical guy that I started listening to recently, just because he has an interesting like techno bro perspective, I think, and it helps me to go like, yeah, definitely not, right? Like there's a definite like in the way that I'm trying to learn anything about.
I hate Star Wars podcasters like that the same way.
Well, I get the feeling that he's not doing these things subversively. I think he's trying to take his modern worldview and somehow square it with what he knows is the truth, kind of a thing. So I'm not blaming him for it, but he's wrong about a lot. That's fine, but he'll get there. Or not, but I can't stop him. That's okay. Anyway, so, sorry, my wife finished making dinner and it's delicious. So I had to throw a mouthful of broccoli and feta in my face.
Oh, that sounds
okay,
killer.
it's very good.
Dude,
yeah, Han, I'm talking about the birth control glasses guy, that guy.
Today was the day in the church where we commemorate all 12 apostles, and there's and here in Greece what happens is we have these things called panegyris, and a panegyria is basically like, okay, so everybody goes to church for whatever the feast day is, and like we do the liturgy, and then after we throw a massive effing party. Monk, did you see it on Instagram?
I did.
Did you see it on the Instagram?
I saw it on Twitter, actually.
Oh yeah, no, the girls there were insane. But we throw these panegyris and like we'll get a band out and like there's like 3 or 4 grills running and everybody's Greek dancing until like 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. I left a little bit early to come to the show, but it's
your sacrifices are not in vain, sir.
Oh, indeed. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, we'll throw these things and they are an effing blast. They are so much fun. I was sitting with some Australians just downing ouzo for the past couple hours before I got here. But yeah, no. So the I'm sorry, what you were telling me about the podcast guy? I'm sorry.
No. The whole point of him was he brought up that the idea he has this idea about the moment of the fall and what it really was. Like it wasn't the moment that Adam ate the apple. It was the moment that Adam decided that even though God told him already, like, hey, this is good, this other stuff's not, the idea is that the moment in which he made the decision to question that is actually the moment that's the fall, right? Where you're just making up your own shit instead of like, hey, here's the world, it's laid out like this, everything's cool, don't fuck with it. And then you'd go, yeah, but I think I'm going to fuck with it, right? Like, okay, so God told you don't fuck with it and everything's going to be cool. Now that you've fucked with it, it's just going to be less cool. And there's nothing anybody can do about that now because you fucked with it, You could have left it unfucked with.
It.
Yeah, exactly. You had the option right up until you fucked with it, and now here we are,
I think there's an important conversation to be had with that, the importance of intentionality. It reminds me of the story of it reminds me of the prostitute who died. It's like this older Greek tale. So there was a prostitute there was a prostitute in Jerusalem, and
that sounds like a Jerusalem story.
Yeah. She was. I mean, much of Jerusalem, in the same way, much of Egypt is.
No, I
very,
understand. I understand.
Yeah, and so there was a prostitute.
Yeah.
So there was a prostitute in Jerusalem, and she was doing what prostitutes did for a lot of her life, and this is the story kind of cut down for a certain sake, but she saw a nun. Huh?
She was selling cupcakes?
Indeed, she was selling her cupcake. Indeed, my dear.
Selling flowers.
So anyway,
selling flowers, I believe is the term.
Yeah, she was selling her cupcake and her flower. So anyway, she saw a nun walking to she heard the church bells. Well, it wasn't church bells, it was the cimatron, which if you ever know what a cimatron sounds like, it's like you got to look up one of these on God, I wish we had a tech guy on here so we can like look at YouTube videos while we're playing. But a cimatron is a long board of wood that you get a wooden hammer and you start going da 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 da. And interestingly, this is the same device that Noah used to call all the animals into the ark before the flood happened.
Okay.
Traditionally, and this is where we get it from. In the same way that Noah called the animals into the ark, we use that same method to call all the monastics to prayer in the monasteries. And so, anyway, she heard it, and she was like, you know what? I think today's the day that I'm going to go to church.
Sure.
And as she was walking to church, she got struck by lightning and died on the spot.
Sure.
And the moral of the story is that... the end. Yeah, it's the end. It was
right. There's no moral. That's it. That was it. Too bad for her.
That's the whole story. And the idea is that, you know, intentionality, God, the moment you repent within yourself, because, listen, confession is important, like confessing in front of a priest and getting your prayer of absolution, like normatively, like that's the thing that one of the things that acquires us paradise. But the idea is that the very intentionality, like the movement of the heart towards repentance, is enough for God to rejoice and look and say, well, now you're going to turn your life around. I'll welcome you into my kingdom wholeheartedly. But he won't.
Well,
he will also only keep somebody alive long enough to make sure they have the best chance for their salvation. And,
right.
And as far as the story of Adam is concerned, it's like, you know, yes, is it horrible that he spent, what was it, from creation to... Monk, what was it? Was it 5,000 from creation to the resurrection?
The Earth was just 5,000, like within 10 years or something like that.
By the time Christ rose from the dead, yeah,
something like that.
So
like just about 5,000.
Yeah, did Adam
5,500.
Did Adam spend 1,000 years toiling on the earth and then another 4,000 in the depths of Hades, like before he could see, you know, the end and his redemption through his successor being the Christ? I mean, yeah, well, not his successor, but we call him the new Adam. But the idea is that, like, you know, the long drawn out story of humanity and all of the pain that even we go through now and like everything leading up from the time of Adam to Christ and from the time of Christ to his second coming is like kind of microcosmed into exactly what I think Joseph said to his brothers when they found him in Egypt and he received them after revealing himself, to say that what they meant for evil, God created for good. And that, you know, at like this long story of humanity, we're going to see the end of it all. Sure. To say that what a beautiful thing at the very end, and all the joy in life that we were able to experience by being near to God. And the only time when you don't see beauty in life is when you're away from him. And so much about what we experience simply is perspective, because on an objective level, life is beautiful and joyous.
Well, it must
be. We create so much of our own pain to ourselves.
Well, like all
you know
of
what I mean?
Yeah. So
yeah.
A quick point on the Earth was 5,000 thing, because I've never been... I don't know. I've never been like 5,000 years as we figure them kind of guy. Because first of all, we're not super good at calendars, as we've already discussed today. But the idea of it being like, hey, the world as we know it being 5,000 years old, that's super easy to say that's true. It's super easy to say the Earth... in our the complete Earth in our understanding did not exist 5,000 years before this happened or that happened. Well, that even lines up with like the development of agriculture in the first place, according to you know the rest of the records that we have. Because, so that's like, not actually contradictory. You know, people just don't understand how to read things. You know.
The funny thing is like, you know, when I hear a lot of historians or anthropologists or I mean, whatever, archaeologists talk about, like, the age of the Earth, you know, they really like throwing around some pretty massive effing numbers. But then when you ask everybody about how old human civilization is, they'll all kind of say, yeah, kind of hangs
about
out
like
around
that much.
like 7,500 years old, like from now. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's how long we think everything was anyway. You know?
Exactly. And like, whatever was going on before that, is it meaningfully human in the way that we think of human? Whatever
way
we
we
were
are.
doing before then, would you say that it bears any resemblance whatsoever to what's going on? And the answer is no. And even if, there's all the like the ancient civilizations that were wiped out theories, where you've got like in Indonesia, there's some evidence about things that may have been cataclysmically destroyed like 72,000 years ago. They're talking about. And
Yeah.
I don't really trust anybody who would be doing any of these tests anymore anyway. But even if I do, I would still say to like, okay, but that's got nothing to do with the world that we're in right now. Just because it was creatures wandering around with 2 arms, 2 legs, and 5 fingers and toes on each of those, that's not people the way that we are people, We have plenty going on right now that I would argue whether it's people or not, and we live contemporarily. There's no fucking reason to say that would be anything else.
So the perspective is actually kind of the same as far as we're concerned, but it's like almost in the exact opposite direction. And the reason I say this is because as far as you've watched Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
I hope so.
I would hope so. Damn it. the way we.
Must be the reset.
I like your green glowing monk. Look at his green glowing eyes. He's got a different helmet from us. But the way that we understand how humanity has progressed on a spiritual and genetic level is something similar to how the clone troopers work in a really funny way.
Oh no, you told me about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of that thing. So, long story short, I mean, we think that Adam himself was like this, 15-foot tall monstrosity. Like he was the same height as like the angels, and same thing considering with Eve and a lot of humans prior to a certain point. So, with that being said, I mean, as far as the I've told you the dinosaur theory. I think we went over that too, Monk. Monk, I gave him the. I think am I right in saying that?
Hit me again. I do not recall.
Okay.
Okay.
So, how many times have you heard me tell this story, Monk?
Pretty much to everyone in the company at least once. At least, but
Nice.
So, anyway,
say it for the audience.
Yeah, right. The way that we rationale the existence of the dinosaurs and the presence of megafauna and pre-contemporary animal life as we understand it is it takes itself in the form of 2 ways. First of all, the world was so weird when God made it. So alien compared to what we see now that
Sure.
I'm talking there things looked how they did in probably the worst Ancient Aliens show with that one Greek guy with the crazy hair mixed with the worst dinosaur documentary you could imagine times 10. But it's that, but we also understand these giant dinosaur monstrosities as the result of the same kind of stuff that was happening with the Nephilim. Because these more recent Protestant theories about there were angels or demons or whatever they were having sexual relationships with
Carnifex.
Carnifex, there it is. Having sexual relationships with human beings. We find that a little bit ridiculous. What we would rather say, and we know this from Saint Basil and Saint Gregory of Nyssa and Saint Dionysius, is that Cain, after his rebellion against God and after his going away from Adam and Eve, decided to start communing with demons and learning anthropological magics from them in a way that, because we think about the Nephilim, it's like, okay, well, there's these gigantic monster people like Goliath, for example, or
when you say anthropological magic, what does that mean? That's an interesting term.
Because we think of magics in kind of like these really like kind of convenient base forms, like okay, like a chick's like there's old Greek versions of it, like a girl is gonna put a little bit of period blood in her soup to make her fall in love with you, or getting somebody's getting a bone and then wrapping like personal effects of that person around the bone and then snapping it to make them into like a voodoo zombie or stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of them, but it's like, as scary as those may sound, those are kind of like the lower level bullshit ends of like what you can really do if you wanted to like get involved with Satan. Which I don't suggest anybody figure it out, but
yeah, of course. Well, or more accurately, if Satan wants to be involved with you, I think is the real kicker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and he always does because the as the old saying goes, Jesus loves you, but the devil wants something to do with you too if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but as far as what I'm saying with anthropological magic, I mean in the way of you create a ritual around a woman conceiving a child, and then during the pregnancy do some more rituals, and then that comes out to be whatever three left-handed being with five voices told you it was gonna be.
Right.
And it's easy for us to imagine such a thing occurring with people, because because again, these are talked about directly in scripture, but it's also easier to do that with animals, and I would go so far to say as we have already figured out how to do that through the conventional sciences anyway. We're kind of approaching this this kind of influx point where we have what the Chinese are testing out with chicken genetics and how they're able to manipulate them.
Okay.
And I mean, just removing like one letter out of their genetic code manifests into them turning out something like a dinosaur already. So
yeah.
It's like and this is kind of the overarching point. It's like, what we've been trying to develop through biological sciences and through conventional methods for however long is stuff that the demons already knew about the nature of creation from the beginning anyway.
Sure.
But I mean, they were there when it happened.
Yeah, they were there when it happened. And it's like, all of them don't know everything, because even angels have an intellectual hierarchy. Like only, I think, I would honestly say, I think only the Archangel Michael knows. I would say he knows about as much. I would say, yeah, he's the closest who knows about as much about things as Christ.
Here we go. He is the one who at least knows what he doesn't know. Right?
Yeah. And he also shares the same face of Jesus Christ too, which I still think is the coolest thing ever. I think that's so cool that we do it that way, but it's like...
artists really do have a style. They've got a favorite style that they sculpt in or any of that kind of stuff. I suppose that makes a lot of sense.
But no, when people have seen Michael, they say he looks like Jesus. He looks like Christ, because it's like he who is quite literally like God. That's about as closest to the noetic archetype as you can get. But yeah. So anyway, these demons, they knew these things, and if you, depending on what ends they want to get out of you, they'll tell you as much as they need to know to because now it's just like okay. We're collecting souls like hotcakes, because people are basically sending themselves to hell at this rate. But I mean, back in the day, it was like, what is there to do with a recently corrupted creation, and what kind of fight are we going to wage in a war where atheism or suicide or like autogenerative like depression and social isolation are all things that are like generally inconceivable because of how unnatural they are. I mean, everything I just mentioned are super new phenomenons in the wider scope of history. So
I wonder about that. I think they would have. There's a lot of conditions that would have been so instantly fatal that I think a lot of times. Like the idea of the melancholy, right? Like a while back, I was trying to describe to someone about yes, the men in my family unfortunately, are susceptible to a touch of the melancholy, right?
Right.
Well, but, 200 years ago, probably would have just got him killed real quick. And 1,000 years ago, for sure, nobody's putting up with that shit. Not for a week. Like you fall into a fucking episode and it's like, all right, man, well, you're taking a walk in the woods because I can't feed you,
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's a...
that's the other part of it.
I think it's a symptom of the incredible wealth and abundance that we are currently experiencing that it's even an option to be depressed for, more than like 6 hours at a time,
Yeah, like we live in a world where we can afford to be that kind of self-destructive. You know what I mean? And it's an odd thing. It's a phenomenon that I think that such a grift has arisen out of it because nobody. I mean, I wouldn't say nobody has the answer. I think the answer's always kind of been there, where, we, like I think I was just talking about it in my video today. Like we always say this before we eat in the church. It's like like at agape meals or in monasteries, they'll always recite that one psalm that the rich men have become poor and suffered hunger, but those who seek the Lord will not lack anything good. And the idea there is like, this may be, I think people may have kind of discovered this from first principles as like a result of experimentation, that connection to God in whatever way that they end up coming to him, or however long or however much of a zigzag that path looks like, is the only viable source of catharsis and fulfillment now. You know what I mean? It's like it's the only. I think that whatever, because I mean, think about what it used to be. It's like, okay, clean water, food, sex, like family
your
safety.
Basic human needs. Once those are met, it doesn't take. I don't think it takes as much skill to navigate those needs mentally, right? Like, we know what they are, we know what they feel like. Our biological signaling handles like letting you know you're hungry, or letting you know that like if
you gotta get your rocks off or something.
You gotta do something, man, right?
Yeah.
And so once those are met, the whole Maslow's pyramid of hierarchical self-actualization, whatever it is. But once you meet those needs, you actually have to start thinking about it a little bit. Like, okay, well, wait a minute, who am I? And as it turns out, it's a really good question, who the fuck you are. And it's the kind of question that can torture a man his entire life. Oh, no, who are you? What kind of man are you?
I'll give you something better. The Lord, even, I mean, don't forget Christ, but I mean, like, but aside from God commanding this of people, or religion demanding this of people, philosophers, you know what I mean? Like people who contended with like immense amounts of suffering just from like unfortunate lives of family death, or like, chronic illness from the time of their childhood, or things like this. There were people of these same situations who also pursued to contend with these ideas of self-actualization and what the point of humanity, the self, means, stuff like this. And in the spirit of that, it's like, now we're in an age where everybody, I feel like, has to become their own little pseudo-philosopher to reach some kind of conclusion.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it this way. It's like,
it's utterly ridiculous that I'm considering any of these things. I should be occupied. I should have enough to do.
Like, for the average, and I mean this in the most endearing way possible, cattle, for the average cattle.
For the average goy out there.
Yeah, for the average goyim, for the average kufar, for the average xenos, whatever it is. Like, what does it really take for somebody to get access to a shelter with doors that have locks?
Oh my goodness, locks? What a luxury, right?
Yeah, some government subsidized food and water, and pornography. It's like, you know, once some, like, you know, once the goyim have access to such things, I mean, like, you know, you would really think by any of the fluffy French philosopher standards that have plagued Europe for the past 100 years, may they rot in hell. Like, you know, that's kind of the end of the game. But we know that's not true, and it's the biggest kill shot to atheism that I can imagine, because it's like, okay, well, if you desire more above your means, then it's like, we're certainly not fucking animals. We can't be. It's impossible.
No goat ever wanted anything besides something else to eat. You know, that's it.
No octopus wanted a special colored ribbon to tie to itself and swim around with. That's the idea.
You know what I wonder about that with octopus? Octopus might not have been the best.
That might have been the worst example.
Yeah,
ever.
exactly.
You just have to take the most emotional.
They're a little bit spooky, sir. I don't know. Like,
Has any anteater ever wanted anything more?
There you go. Yes, an anteater. I would kind of expect, you know, if we come to find out, like, oh, no, this is where we put a lot of the sentient demons that we didn't want wandering around. Stuffed them in an octopus. That would make sense.
I love those things. Man, you know how you catch them?
How?
You put a cracking glow stick inside of a glass Coca-Cola bottle, and you fill it up with water, put it to the bottom of the ocean, wait for them to crawl in, pull it up.
So basically, they're just like autistic people.
Yeah, they're autistic people. That's all they are. And then when you get them, the way you got to kill them to make sure that you don't mess up anything inside to eat later is you got to beat them up against a rock, and then you put. Yeah, I know it's horrible, but you beat them up against a rock, and then I swear to God, I see this once a week. I see this literally once a week. And then you get all of the octopus that you collected, you put them inside of a plastic shopping bag, and you throw it inside of a washing machine on quick rinse, and then you just let it tenderize them in there, and you're done. And that's how you get them ready to get cooked.
You gotta have a separate washing machine for your octopus washing, I hope.
Oh no! You gotta put like spearmint oil and pressure wash it after. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh no!
It's gross. It's real gross.
This seems like such a pain in the ass. I can't imagine they're that delicious. I don't know.
And that's why, and my dear antagonist, this is why all the restaurants where I live serve cuttlefish to the tourist and then tell them it's octopus, charge them the surplus, and make their lives a lot easier.
Oh my God!
That's why. And the cuttlefish taste like shit.
That's just
But is octopus good?
Octopus, yeah, I would. It's my death row meal. It's literally my death row meal. Actually, no, forget that. There's so many good ways to do octopus. You throw it on the Barbie, and that's killer. You throw it on a grill, and it's killer. You grind it up into ground meat, and you turn them into meatballs, and that's like literally a staple food for everybody here. Octopus de cafetes. Oh my God, are they killer? And you just put a little lemon on them, or you pickle them. And those are killer, and you just let them sit in the brine for however long, and they come out like sour and juicy, and it's oh my God, they're killer, dude. Dude, I could eat octopus for the rest of my life, but they're a pain in the ass. And the other part is they're not very good survivalists either after the ink runs out.
okay.
So the cuttlefish actually end up eating enough of them to where some years around where I live, they have off years of octopus. So like you may only be able to get cuttlefish some places, or you got to just settle for the sea urchin, which I would argue is actually even better. That's killer. Sea urchin is so good.
Really?
Oh my God.
Little stupid spiky things?
The little stupid spiky things. Now here's the thing. Sea urchins are like they're like little trash bags. They're like dirty little freaks.
Okay.
So
I know a couple of those.
I know. I mean, that's what we should have called this podcast. This is the dirty little freak podcast. But the thing with cuttlefish is they'll absorb not cuttlefish, sea urchins. They'll absorb anything. So what they'll do is they'll sit on the docks by the ships and they'll absorb all the engine oil, and they'll literally eat it like food, and they don't care. But you can't eat those ones because those will give you turbo cancer.
Sure.
So it's like, when you go to the beaches, you'll see a whole bunch of old ladies with butcher knives, like they're Michael Myers walking around the beach to try to find these things. And they'll go into like the rocks and they'll grab them out. And then if you ask them, what they'll do is they'll crack it open over your mouth and it's not exactly blood. It's something else. It's like this green shit. I'm not exactly sure, but whatever comes out of them, I'm telling you this, right hand. If you have strep throat, if you have a respiratory infection, if you have a headache, if you drink that shit, it's gone. It's gone immediately.
Well, yeah,
I don't know what's in it.
Buddy, I would assume that it's got to be a matter of like whatever the turbo death that's in the sea urchin is happening to kill the turbo death that was in your throat first, and it just doesn't get to the rest of you yet. My God,
it's nature's super immunity battery acid, whatever it is, and then whatever you get out of it, you So the meat inside of it, it's like this orange kind of like sludge. It kind of looks like snails that you gotta scrape off the inside of it.
Oh, we got green shit and sludge?
You got this orange sludge, and it kind of holds together, but like it's like watery, and you put that with a little bit of like squid ink, and then like you make that like kind of like the side garnish to a pasta. Or if you know the right people who don't mind like catching enough of these things, you just pile it onto a plate and you like slurp it. Oh my God, is it killer? Oh my God. I cried the last time I had it. I was like, man, did I miss this?
I might cry if I eat that too. I don't know. This sounds
don't
terrifying.
worry. We have more disgusting foods. We have more disgusting foods. We have something called spignalo, and spignalo is so the animal is called a fuscas. A fuscas is the word for that directly translates into bubbles. That's the only word that we have for this animal. And
that doesn't fill me with optimism.
so this thing, it kind of looks like a sea cucumber, sea slug sort of thing. I'm not really exactly sure what it is, it looks like a little alien. But basically, you get the little alien, and you put the alien inside of a saltwater brine that you just stuff with every spice that you could kind of grab off the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And you let it sit there for about 3 weeks. And
3 weeks, he says.
Yeah, you put it in the fridge and let it sit for about 3 weeks. And when you take it out, it smells like something that you didn't know existed died.
Yeah.
But when you eat it, it tastes really effing good. I don't know how it like evens out in the end, but like it's killer. And you're supposed to eat it cold and mushy and alien like how it is. Too,
oh my God! Listen, what I'm learning right now is that Greece has, from time to time, been terrifyingly poor. This is what I'm learning. No,
we are a horrifically barbaric people. I hope nobody listening to this thinks that I'm some kind of sophisticated Western European. No, I am as much of an animal as the things that bite me that I can't see in the water every day. Trust me.
I'm starting to think that like the great philosophers of Athens were like a rounding error.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah. Oh my God, they were right. You should, I mean, just shit. I'm a descendant of them. What do you think? Okay, I told you what my really favorite food is before, Monk. I told you about muri, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I tell you about this?
You know what? Sometimes you tell me things, and I think I wipe them from my mind before we speak next. But hit me again.
You're probably better off for the sake of your sanity. So what muri is, okay, first of all, they only make this on my island. I have never spoken to a Greek who has ever known what this was that lived outside of where I live, but they only make this on my island. Basically what it is you get rice, and then you shred up a goat, and then when you shred the goat up, you gotta let the fat, you gotta cook it inside of a strainer, and you let the fat from the goat like seep into the rice, and you let it like you get like goat fat seeped rice, and then you throw an egg in it, Chinese style, which I mean that's killer by itself. But then the kicker.
Why not?
The kicker to all of this is you get the goat's brain. You get a couple goat's brains, ideally, and
now I think I am remembering this. The brains were involved.
Yeah. So and it comes out as like these kind of gelatin black cubes that you like dice up and you cook until they get hard. What's up, Mom? He's doing a podcast.
So we're just speed running mad cow disease now.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's a good way to get a pyro on, but it's good. It's really good.
It's good to see you. Where's your squad? Gone. Neurathroom tore them to pieces.
Oh,
But
we
yeah,
got one
so-
homeboy.
We need to get across.
Yep.
So you're just gonna be chilling one day at like 52 years old, and then your heart's gonna shut down.
Yeah, it's all
Oh,
gonna
sure.
grab at the same time.
Or the liquor evens it out. I mean, who knows at this rate? But...
Perhaps.
Listen, whatever we're doing,
Just
whatever
sit there
we're
and
doing.
it's like, hey, why am I foaming at the mouth, and why doesn't it feel like my blood's pumping?
Oh yeah, just
Wait a
go
minute,
get
what's
in the water.
happening?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, listen.
Oh, no.
No, I'll say it
Where
as
all
my
the
cousin
oxygen
says.
to my brain go?
I'll say it as my cousin says it. Totale sai na farmakio. You know, that means the ocean is medicine. You know, that's what everybody says here. The ocean is medicine. If you're not feeling good, or you people they say that to people with cancer. It's like, listen, you go in the water, you go swim every day, and you're good. You're just Gucci.
You know, so I think there is a good reason for that to be the case. That like, just the amount of salt that's in the ocean is so much more than most of the. So, one of the things that I realized that was very funny is that like what the number one thing that makes a disease human transmissible is that like if it's coming from a place that is very much like a human body to begin with, right? That same kind of temperature, the
Right.
same pH, you know, this kind of stuff. So much so that a fever is a good way for your body to fight off a lot of infections, right? Because
Yeah.
just a couple degrees hotter and it's just too hot for a lot of them. And I bet similarly, a couple degrees cooler and it's just too cold for the other lot of them, right? And then the ones in the middle, if you soak in the salt water for 3 hours, well, that's too fucking salty for a lot of them,
Yeah.
and they just die, you know?
That's exactly what it is. And it's like, I mean, listen, but I think that's where this big talk of like the American magnesium deficiency is coming from. It's like
I
nobody
do,
swims
yes,
anymore.
buddy. I actually, so yesterday, I took my wife to Lush Cosmetics, right? Mm-hmm. Fancy pants store.
Of course.
Because I have fancy pants hair requirements, right? And either I order them from Canada or I have to drive for fucking ever to go to a store with it, right? Now,
Let me ask you real quick. Have you been red pilled on vitamin E oil?
well, I understand that almost all vitamin E oil that you can buy is dog shit. Don't use it. But
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
I'm sure there's a good supply that it can be good for you. But anyway, I bought a massage bar that's like magnesium because I know that most people living in America have a magnesium problem because I'm definitely not eating enough greens to actually go through. And I supplement magnesium anyway, but I also do like hot soaks with magnesium salts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That work out pretty good. And I definitely feel better and heal better when I do that regularly. That's for sure a big deal to everyone. But my Codius, I don't know when we're getting the AG1 sponsorship. I haven't reached out to them. I should. They sponsor like everybody. I should probably do that, but I haven't been. I've got to.
I'll write that down somewhere. We need a sponsor for the Ortho Chat.
Yeah. AG1 will go for it. Don't work with HelloFresh. They're evil, and don't work
Of course.
with what's that fucking the psychology one. They are also evil.
BetterHelp. Yeah, that cackle of demons. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but anyway, of the ones. My wife holds up her phone and it just says Skillshare, and I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to look into Skillshare, but it's. I'm so far I don't know anything fucked up or shitty about Skillshare, but if it comes up, I'll be sure to let everyone know. But like AG1's okay.
Legends.
You got a what?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Well,
Raid
okay,
Shadow
so
Legends.
well, here's what you need to know about Raid Shadow Legends. Guess who owns that?
Does anybody play that shit?
No, of course not.
I never knew anyone that played it.
No.
Who does them?
But everyone is sponsored by them, and when they are sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, they sure seem to get along with the Daily Wire. So, yeah.
I see.
It's a thing. Yeah. I'm assuming that part of America's black budget goes to Raid Shadow Legends.
Indeed.
Funny.
Yeah. Because nobody fucking pays for that shit. Now, keep in mind, will I take a suspicious Raid Shadow Legends sponsor that pays me way too much? Yes, of course. Fucking, what are we talking about here? But just be aware, if you should at least know you're dancing with the devil if you're dancing with the devil. Do what? You know? Like
We don't have ethics in the budget.
We don't have what in the budget?
Ethics.
No, we never had ethics in the budget. Are you kidding me?
Oh, ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife says a
me-
$69,420 sponsorship. Yes, that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah, deposit that shit into the bank account. I'll say whatever you want.
I would not deposit that in the bank. I would buy Monero. Thank you. I'm not giving it right back to them. Come on.
This is me and my dear secretary constantly talk about the budget, which has floated around the same number for about the past year. So, you know, we're trying to get some verticality on this. We're gonna see what we can work with.
Yeah, it turns out 0 is a big number for the budget. When the budget is 0, it stays there.
You know,
Hey,
my
dear
calculator
secretary,
hasn't
this
been
is
very
your-
useful.
Oh
My
no.
calculator hasn't been very useful when I try to times the only number we have and it just crashes.
Oh no.
Come on, listen, man. We gotta get some high rise numbers, man. What are we gonna do? I can't keep paying for all this.
Oh
I
no.
can't eat air much longer.
I can't live like this anymore, man.
Sure you can. You're doing great, bud.
Anyways, nothing, dude. Everyone watching, check out Global Orthodox.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, check out Global Orthodox and get some. Yeah, go get some
Oh
of
my
my
God.
shitty hoodies that I made in my bedroom.
Listen, I'm
The
starting to
patriarch
poke around.
Georgia one is popping it and no one bought it, but you know.
I'm starting to poke around like merch. I want to make antagonist merch, and I don't know. You know how everybody does the morale patches, and I the only way to do a morale patch that I've thought of is I want to do like a hologram patch, right? That it tricks your eye into seeing the hypercube moving. You know, that's
would be
what I
kinda
want.
cool.
Yeah, and I don't know the right way to do it. I know for a fact that it's possible, but like the real hologram shit that'll make it float there, right? Like, so it's almost more like a pin than a patch, you know? But it would have to be pretty
Yeah,
big.
you could do like a resin patch like that if you wanted to. Well, if you wanted to do a patch, you could do one of those things where it's like, if you've ever seen it, they had a lot more stuff like this back in the day. You ever look at the things that it's like, if you kind of tilt it a little bit, it's like, it's basically
Yeah.
what are those called? The prism images, where it's like 4 or 5 on the same sheet.
Right.
Or
So when I
whatever.
started looking these up, that is
what's
what it
called?
absolutely. We missed the fucking heretic scene. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
skipped it. My bad. But
That's okay.
So, yeah, that's the only ones they would show me, and it's not the one I'm looking for. I've seen like real hologram tricks before, you know, with like just a concave, semi-transparent mirror type thing, you know, and so it makes it where, you know, it creates a 3D illusion, right? This is the thing that I'm thinking, and it would be stupidly expensive. I've also had possibly the most retarded idea for a plushie, and it's very funny. We have our
plushie. We have the bird as a plushie. You
do?
You should buy one. We have a bird plushie.
Oh,
We
I
have
should
the
buy
bird-
one. I see.
We launched that.
We'll say, you know what? We should. Monk, let's just send him one, because I don't even think that's public yet. We gotta send him one of the bird plushie.
Oh, no, gentlemen. There's no sending. I have to set up a P.O. box for the business is what I need to do.
Yeah, you do, because I think people would send you fun things. I do. It's like, and I don't mean that like in obtusely fun. People
No,
would send
I
you
know,
fun
I know.
things.
But they would send me fun things.
Python.
But they would also see exactly. The thing is, I know I have at least. There are 2 followers that I have on Twitter that actually seriously would send illegal or dangerous shit as a joke, and they would mean it as a joke for sure. Like, they would expect me to not be harmed by it in one way or another. but they would do it, and it's a stupid fucking idea, but they'd be like, well, you get it though, right? So I have to understand exactly how I'm gonna solve for that before I make the P.O. box.
I'm just thinking of that like Warhammer tweet where they're like, please stop sending us classified documents.
Yes, the War Thunder. Yeah, dude.
Can't use them.
Exactly.
And it's super illegal.
Yeah. You're making me have to report you to people, and I don't want to do that. Stop doing that, you fucking idiot. You know. And then, like, I can't receive it. You know, I can't even, like, hey, bro, great, you know, nice cock, excellent pipe bomb. Fucking stop. You fucking retard, you know.
I tweet at such and such sent me such a lovely pipe bomb.
Exactly.
How long have we been doing the show by now? How long have we been doing the show?
Well, it's a couple of months, like 2-3 months, maybe 4 months.
We're 3 months into the show. I think we're close enough to where you trust me to not send you piss.
Oh, yeah. Well,
My Little Pony jar.
No, okay, so
nothing up the start.
I understand, sir. That's I need to get the PO box for business purposes, regardless. Like, I just need to do that. I need to put that together. But like, as far as giving any of my actual info, like, so. I am very annoyed. Rusty is very annoyed by this, by the way. Rusty hates that he doesn't know who I am. It really bums him out.
He doesn't even know.
No, neither does Flesh. Like, no. So the rules are, I want to make it okay, here's the deal. I'm trying to do my best to make sure that there's no way that anybody can accidentally fuck it up either, right? Like, people get hacked, dumb shit happens, you know, whatever. And I want to make sure that there's no way I am responsible for too many people in my boring guy life. And I want to make sure there's no fucking way that I had to tell someone recently, like, hey, listen, if my mom can't eat a single fucking meal because of my stupid shit online, I'm a real fucker. I simply cannot allow this to be the case, right? So to do that, the reality is two can keep a secret when one of them is dead. That's the end of the story. And so it's not necessarily, nobody has to be out to try to fuck it up. It's just that shit happens sometimes, you know? So I don't want to put you in the position of being incidentally responsible for that somehow. I don't want to put them in that position, blah, 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 blah. And I'm stuck where, like, there is shit that I'm going to miss out on, that I'm going to have to pass on because of it. That could be very lucrative. And, like, I'm going to have to pass on that. And that sucks. But there is like a monetary threshold beyond which I can fucking relax a little bit. But that's far off. You know, I have a family to take care of. So you know.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, you know, it's regrettable. It's like, you know, I don't know. It's like, I feel like, and I kind of mentioned this in the video. And Monk, did you see the video? Because I didn't even pass this through my PR group before I put it out.
Sir, you have a PR team. Why are you not using them? What's wrong with you?
Listen,
look,
Monk.
The problem is, he needed PR, and then he found the person most like him, and then I've been kind of yes-manning a little too much up to this point.
Yeah. My PR team just turned into an echo chamber for myself,
that's awful.
Which is yeah, I know, terrible way to run it, but it's like,
fun.
but I feel great, and that's what matters.
Yeah,
I feel good.
You gotta hire a guy who only tells you no. And then you can fucking argue with him about it. You can call him. You can call him the F slur and move on with your life. But you do need some. How do I shut this the fuck off? Am I stuck here? What am I doing?
Okay, in all seriousness, I have chewed him out pretty bad a few times.
You
good.
have, yeah.
Well, good.
Actually, especially in the recent weeks, I think my quarter life crisis has especially frustrated him.
Well,
I've come to the conclusion that I just need to start hitting you.
Yeah.
That would. You know, it's a distinct possibility.
Honestly, I should have hired somebody to do that a long time ago.
Having someone that you just their whole gig is that they tell you no, and then you decide what you're doing with that. That's important. That's important to have. You can't only have good news. What the fuck am I supposed to, like, dash over this? I'm very stupid here. What is going on? There's two of us here. Are we supposed to just provide fire support while he chops through everybody?
Get over there. I don't understand.
In the cutscene, I got roid rage and I jumped over to kill
Yeah. No, I know that. It's just now, how do I get there? With your 1 HP in a dream.
Because I have no objective.
Am I supposed to shoot this fucking
guy
thing?
And then maybe it's over? What's your guys' objective?
I don't have. There's no. It says regroup.
Regroup.
Okay, no, you know what? Yeah, you missed a dude. Here. Here's.
Yeah, I missed a couple.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay. Yep. Okay.
There we go. There's that.
Gucci.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Sergeant, check the perimeter. Yes, brother.
Yeah, I think I understand Christian Twitter now that I'm playing Warhammer. It's like they see how you treat the heretics in this, and it's like this is how they think you should respond to a Presbyterian grandma.
Yeah, but you know what though? If she's dancing with snakes, maybe, because the problem is.
Maybe rip her arms off,
dude. Well, because if you do, so here's the thing, right? There's a Warhammer quote that now I get to tell you this Warhammer quote. This is awesome. Okay, so you're familiar with the concept of like you've heard of the Warhammer Inquisition and the like Exterminatus. Everybody tells the jokes about Exterminatus. Okay,
yeah.
So there's a quote from an Inquisitor in setting where he's arguing with a Navy man. There's a Navy man running a ship that he's commandeered, and he's telling him, "Well, I'm authorizing Exterminatus. We're gonna burn this world." And the Navy man is telling him, like, I can't do that. That's there's a billion people on this planet. And the Inquisitor tells him, "I understand that you don't understand, but it's not that because the guy says, how do you have a right to condemn a billion souls to die?" And his answer is that I don't have any right to let them live. What's happening here, if it gets out of hand and if it gets off world, it's not a billion souls that I'm condemning to die. It's trillions. And I can't do that. I can't take that chance. If I fuck this up and I let them out, so it gets so much worse so quickly. And I've loved that the whole time because the idea of like, hey man, what we're up against is the worst shit you can imagine actually, right? Like this is not an exaggeration. This is not hyperbole. There is such a thing as the worst shit ever. And it is out there, right? Like whatever that may be. Maybe I can't imagine it properly, whatever. That's fine. I don't have to. It can be horrors beyond my comprehension. I don't have to comprehend them. I just have to kill them.
Indeed.
And so maybe we need to consider.
You're probably better off just not thinking about it and killing them.
Probably. And so maybe that Presbyterian grandma is worse than I thought, and I don't know.
Monk, what did we say about what?
What do we say about the iconoclast?
Oh yeah, stop pregnant iconoclast. Stop pregnant
iconoclast. The official decree of the 7th Ecumenical Council.
Oh, okay.
The official decree of the 7th Ecumenical Council is stop pregnant iconoclast.
Nice. Anytime the answer is curb stomp, it tends to be a pretty reliable answer, which is, this is also the, the violence isn't the answer meme, and then like opens a history book. Oh no, wait, right?
No, wait a minute.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah. It's like, well, I can't. It is very commonly an answer at the very least, and it might have been the answer all along, and so perhaps,
it's been the answer for long enough. It's been the actionable answer for so long that why stir the gumbo in a different direction?
The thing my dad always told me is, violence isn't always the best option. But it's always an option.
It is always an option, and people pretending it's not an option, it's very silly.
It is simultaneously sometimes the best thing you can do and the only thing you can do. It is sometimes the first choice at the restaurant and an excellent contingency plan all in of itself. It's great. It's malleable.
Well, I really would have enjoyed if like spirited debate had been worthwhile, right? Like, I have completely run out of
a government based on argument, and it didn't work.
the what?
We built a government based on argument. Didn't work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like the concept of debate, bro, right alongside the concept of voting, it really seems like things that are all, of course they are stand-ins for violence. They are things that like were meant to give us space to not commit violence immediately. And as it turns out, the leftists intentionally misunderstanding something, making discourse impossible.
It's making discourse impossible.
Yeah, it wins the argument, and because they've never had their head kicked in, they think that's the end because they won the argument. And meanwhile, no, that's the beginning. That's where we, the actual conflict is conflict. The actual conflict is not us spiritedly discussing, what sounds nicer for A, B, C, and D. It's like, oh, you disagree with me, and so I'm just gonna cave your head in, and then I might have to deal with your widow later. And then to go like, oh shit, these guys aren't even married? I don't even have to do anything with your widow. Amazing, right? Like, I don't have to give a fuck about your family at all.
And see, like, at the core of all this, it's like, and as much as I respect Charlie Kirk, and I would never speak ill of the dead. I mean, was he a bit of a Jay shill? Yeah, but it's like, at the same time... At the same time, at his core, he was somebody that... I think him being the kind of person that believed in the ideals that the United States was built upon, being free speech and discourse and democracy, I think it was noble of him, but I think everything that happened in his story, all the way up to and including the end of his life, was a sincere representation of the inviolability of that concept across a long period of time.
Yes.
And yeah,
I think I never paid any attention to Charlie Kirk when he was alive, right? It's not my bag. I don't like the debate thing. I understand why some people found it compelling, but I just, in the same way that I don't like cringe comedy, right? It doesn't make me laugh. Yeah. It doesn't feel good. I don't enjoy it. And let me tell you something. The last 15 years have been a difficult time trying to find something to laugh about, not liking cringe, like fucking actual Quirk Chungus bullshit. I genuinely hate it. Like, it's not a mild dislike. No. It's a deep hatred, a deep, serious hatred.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And, sorcerer, get lost. Get out of here, Mr. Sorcerer. Oh, sorcerer.
Well,
No, I'm so glad that like the millennials phase of being like irrelevant
it's almost over.
Culture is.
I'm so happy the millennials are just dying.
They're somehow dying before the boomers do, which is kind of impressive.
Well, many of them transmuted into boomers. It was a boomer transmutation, and
replenish the rank boomers.
Mm-hmm.
But like the thing is, like what I think Charlie was a man outside of his own time, like, because if you imagine that kind of conservative, like, rhino boomerism, or at least like the sentiments that were attached to it existing in some kind of form during like the Bush administration, he would have been the next Limbaugh.
Well,
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Well, no, he was. Well, that's why he's gone. They did not want to allow that. And so I forgot how young he actually was, because to me...
was he, 30-something?
I think he was like 30. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But he's way younger than I thought he was.
Yeah, and his wife was pregnant with their third child, so...
Yeah. Well...
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 31. He died at 31.
That's horrible.
And,
oh my god.
Yeah, it is horrible, but at the same time, like, the reason I felt like he was so much older is because it was all boomerism as far as I could tell, and it was supposed to be, the young Americans for whatever what was it? Oh my god, is it
Liberty?
Young Americans for Liberty? No, what's this fucking his
Wait, what the hell was
organization.
it?
Now I've ruined
It's
it.
wait, stop.
right? Turning
TV,
Point.
yeah,
Turning Point.
USA,
Jesus
Turning Point
Christ.
USA, yeah.
Yeah, you see what they've done to it since he's been gone already? It's been wiped. Holy
I could
smokes.
imagine it just got absorbed by the Daily Wire.
It
Well,
basically did.
Yes.
What happened?
And now the Daily Wire is like in deep shit too. By the
Yeah,
way.
they're in their death throes. It's like
Yeah.
the whole problem with like I think Charlie is like I think he was saying plenty of the right things, but again, like I think conservative politics moved beyond him, and there's like
Sure.
there was kind of like a dark joy watching the kind of content he put out, because like realistically, like there is some like prevalence to the very evil people who make the arguments against Kirk, like, oh well, you know, he was debating like these college campus like liberal arts school like dumbasses, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, but the reason you enjoy watching something like that is the same reason that somebody back in 2005 like watching those cop shoes on the cable networks, that like there were like crackheads getting arrested and freaking out, and like people
Yeah.
getting served Lawrence by Dog the Bounty Hunter, because it's like coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb.
Yeah.
It's like that's like the whole thing.
Well, okay, but
The
it's
same way
also
that, like, the underdog story is satisfying. Like the extreme anti-underdog story is also primally satisfying.
that's true. So, all right, here's the actually good thing about doing the debates where you debate a college kid who does not actually know their business, and you socially annihilate them, right? Yeah. The reason that this can be a good thing is that these opinions that a lot of people espouse are entirely built on social acceptance. It's not a matter of right and wrong, and it's not a matter of a fact. It's just consensus verification. And so, if you make a fool of them loudly enough, and to the point where they feel made a fool of, their friends are now like, ugh, you made us all look bad, man. And they become ostracized for their failure in this way. They will never, ever, ever tell someone that they believe that ever again. And that's really important.
Yeah.
And like, I think we've come far enough. Like in the last couple of months, there's been a bit of a renaissance of like based foids online, where we are seeing more women put things out there that are would have been completely objectionable, and they simply would never have gone against their sewing circle enough to say so. Like the idea of, well, fellas, you both, I'm sure, have faced the shadow counsel of the girls' group chat on a number of occasions where, you know, you're messaging a girl and it turns out, you know, everything you send her is being immediately forwarded to her group chat, where they're like, what the fuck does he mean by this? Oh, what do we do? How do I respond? And it's really like,
the trick is to have your own group chat of girls that you're friends with to talk shit about the girls you're talking to. That's you gotta play a little bit reverse osmosis there. But
listen, using the weapon of the enemy against them is, I'm always a fan of this.
Fire is an accessible tool to fight other fires, but
exactly
become the gossiping bitch.
Exactly. See, and here's the thing though. It's like I feel like the political spectrum. I think the based foid thing that we're seeing now is a much more, and I think you know this already. It's a much more ancient kind of processional archetype of, well, you know, the women will follow the men, and so
yes.
so that smaller symptom, like 3 degrees zoomed out, is representative of something happening to the populace.
Exactly.
Where it it's kind of like, okay, well, you know, you have a healthy environment once you see fish eating mosquitoes or some like bullshit, whatever.
Okay.
It's like, you know, that thing by itself doesn't really mean anything to somebody not looking at the big picture, but the big picture is representative of something healthier happening to the general, in this case, political ecosystem. And what it means to me is, and I kind of said it when Trump won this last time, and I don't know how confident I was, but I kind of put my money on it that the culture war is, for all intents and purposes, over. I think it ended in a more meaningful way than we understand, because now we're just dealing with the fundamental issues. Now it's not a matter of discussion anymore for rational people. And the problem was, I don't think people really understood what the problem was for the past 15 years. The issue was trying to convince rational people of what was inherent irrationality versus the way humans have survived and thrived and socialized for the past 7,500 years. And what I feel like it's going to transform into is the symptomatic fall off, or the results, or let's put it a better way, the casualties of the past 15 years of the culture war being people that mutilated their minds and bodies, or have kind of created these organizations around identifying degeneracy or sin or abomination with self-identity. These are going to be the people that are going to be the most violent, feel the most ostracized. And if that doesn't take the form of inflicting self-harm, which we know it does so often that it kind of became a meme. It has. And the other thing... Yeah, exactly. It's like, and even if that doesn't happen, the ones that have enough gumption or hatred to give somebody else a hard time about it, we already saw the shooters, or the, I will call them what they are, the terrorists that are a little confused, that decided to go hurt otherwise normal people. And you know what I mean? It's
I don't even think, like, at a cultural level, I don't think the shockwave of, like, Uvalde is even over.
No, it's not.
No.
It's like that's gonna sting forever.
Well, that video, the screams of children have been edited out for clarity. Video, that shit right there was the end of Thin Blue Line. Like, the idea of...
That was the entire end of Back the Blue.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah. That shit's done. And
it just killed it right there, and deservedly so.
Correct. Yeah. Well, so it, like, the idea of everybody knowing that, like, hey, yeah, there's some bad cops out there, but there's also some good cops, and, gosh, but push comes to shove, the stupid, hey, well, next time call a crackhead instead of a cop. Yeah, I think I will. Because if I have a crackhead to call and I go, hey, there's a guy in there shooting up kids, and if you go in there and get his ass, I'll give you some crack. You know what that fucking crackhead's gonna do? He's gonna run in there.
You don't even need to give him crack. You just need to say, hey, $50.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was going to make it easy. He's a crackhead. I'm going to have crack in my hand. I'm going to throw it into the building. I'm going to go get him, Tiger. And he'll go. If I call the cops,
no hesitation.
If I call the cops,
say,
I get nothing.
I got a family. I got a 401k. I got a this. I got a, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years from retirement. I can't get injured now.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, like, hey, dude, the children are screaming currently, and I don't even like other people's kids, but I've always got, I'm never anywhere with no gun anymore, So like, fuck, man. And I'd be, and actually I can tell this is true and real. This is some shit that did happen. I fucking hate the homeless people in my area, right? I've gone beyond the part where, I've gone beyond just like the soup kitchen guy or whatever. I really, really hate them. I hate them a lot. But
1 second, I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Okay, all right. Oh, here, we'll step out of the thing. Okay, so
before you go, I just want you to think while you're taking a piss how funny the sentence is. I hate the homeless people in my area.
I really hate them. They're really awful. So okay, I don't like them at all. I regularly wish death on them. If there's a little evil eye to throw their way, fuck it, right? Like, I don't like these people at all. However, I've been out at night just having a walk in my neighborhood because I can, motherfucker, and I hear screaming from where I know one of these homeless camps is. There's a woman screaming, right? Mm-hmm. And I have to go like, all right, and the person I was walking with, nope, go back to the house. Go back to the house right now. Fuck off. Go back to the house. Get out of here. And like,
Holy
okay.
shit, that competition got somewhere in.
And I just had to go like,
right, wait, pick it up with him so I can use the restroom and
yeah. Go. So there's a woman screaming, and I know I'm the only one there that can do anything about it, and I'm not going for a nighttime walk unarmed. So it's like, all right, fuck it. And, way too...
up, time to go.
Yeah. And it's like, all right, I have way too bright flashlight, and I have gun. And they are both out for this because I'm not a fucking idiot. Now, it did turn out this woman was not being attacked. She was in the middle of a really bad trip. And, she had gotten hold of the good stuff and could not handle the ride and was screaming her impending death to the skies. But, I did go there assuming she was being attacked, who I hate, right? Haunt in chat says, a woman screaming is a dangerous thing to approach. If her boyfriend is killing her and you kill him, she may kill you afterward. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I'm not getting within the 20 feet. That's not happening. But I did have to, I had to go. I had to at least make sure, or I wouldn't have been okay with myself, even though I know these are people that I hate, right? So, I would like to believe that certainly a chorus of screaming children would be...
Would elicit some kind of urgency.
Yeah, exactly. So, and knowing that these guys stood there, it's like, okay, nope, I understand why you would not go, but I'm a real piece of shit, and I have gone for worse. So, nah. So what the fuck do you mean? Nah, you gotta go.
How do you even look at yourself after that?
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you how.
And the worst part is that they're cops and they're going to go around saying they're heroes, and it's like, no, the time for heroism came, and you stood there with your thumb up your ass.
Right.
You're definitely not a hero.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, their worldview, whether they're heroes or not, they would still say, there's not a... they believe what they did is reasonable and the correct thing to have done. And everyone else shaming them does not disabuse them of this notion. So, okay, but then you that's... what it does is it shows everyone that we don't actually have police. We've got guys that give parking tickets. We've got, guys that will fuck with me, but I don't have anybody that I can call in an emergency for me, Yeah. So, so for me, that says, all right, well then I guess I am the emergency forever, Haunt says, if I die saving strangers, I can't protect my family anymore. It's an easy calculation. And Haunt, you're right. This was a few years ago, mind you. This was, I did not have all the same responsibilities then that I do now. And, but I am also much more well equipped in the moment. And really, my plan was to get in a decent firing lane, light the fucking place up to where I could see, the person that I'd sent back to the house was like, nope, call the police, get him out here. Call 911 regardless. Someone's out here screaming, they might be dead or not. And then to make sure that as I'm hearing the sirens approach, I'm getting the fuck out of there because I'm armed. They're going to shoot me, right?
Oh no, we're not staying till out of a police report. We're getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, see, and here's the funny thing. It's like, if you think about it this way, it's like the conversation between the hyper communists and I guess I would honestly say the hyper capitalists. I think this is like at the core of like a lot of what their worldview is like, okay, complete privatization versus complete public resource tax funding. And it's like, I think it's fair to say that that's one of the most nuanced conversations that you could have about logistics and economics that there is. And nobody really has it, though. Here's what I'm saying. It's like, we understand that the government is okay at some things and is absolutely horrific at others. I don't think the government does bad. I don't think the state and the government does bad in the case of like fire departments and stuff like that.
Well, they do though.
Police?
No, but no.
Okay, well,
I gotta
that's
stop
also
you.
dog shit.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There has never been anything that the government does that couldn't be done better privately. And when all the things that you know of that the government does do, that you think of as them doing it well, that is the thing that is least regulated and has the shortest, the fewest steps between private action and government action, right? So a lot of these things you just have to think of what they actually do, because what they say they do versus what they actually do, that's not true, you know?
So let me maybe reframe it then in that case. I mean, like, the idea is then maybe to trim, because listen, I gotta be honest with you, for as much as people bitch about airfare, I have not been on a lot of unsurvivable flights. I am quite happy that the airline industry is privatized. And they were actually having a conversation back up, because I mean, you know, I don't know if I ever told you, but it's like prior to me wanting to do the whole priest thing, I was gonna go be an air traffic controller after I got my pilot's license. That was gonna be my.
Okay.
I have quite a few hours up in a control tower, and is it miserable? Absolutely, but like during the time I was in school, there was a lot of conversation surrounding the idea that they were going to end up privatizing that industry, and it was like, you know, of course the people in the program were like freaking out, because it's like, oh, we want to get our cushy like government benefits and whatever. Oh yeah, for the emperor. But it's like, you know, I would think, like, I mean, I've never heard anybody swing the idea of people on police forces being privatized. It's like, yeah, of course there are going to be like some like, you know, third body regulation making sure that there's not guys just running around capping people. Absolutely. But it's like,
well, that's the problem, is that no, do not have third body regulation making sure. See, what makes sure that I don't go around capping somebody is that it's going to get me killed, right? I have other shit to do, so I'm not doing that. The same reason that they won't do that's the same reason. Because if you have these private private security forces, and
they're going to do what they get paid for, honestly.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so if what I'm paying them for is to hunt down gang stalkers, for example, we'll just pull something out of thin air. If I'm paying them to hunt down gang stalkers and make sure that those gang stalkers never stalk anybody again, then they're going to do that, right? And
yeah, exactly.
I have my own idea of what justice is, and blah 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 blah. But that's never going to. Whatever you have regulating it is what's going to fuck it up. Is the problem, right? You can't have regulation is interference by nature, right? And so in the same way that, like, hey, okay, well, if I told you we were going to have a third party, regulate the Orthodox Church, plainly, this is an absurdity.
Oh yeah,
right?
we tried that.
Yeah, doesn't work. Because
it's called the World Council of Churches. That shit's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
Or no. What is it? The Assembly of Canonical Bishops. Yeah, that's another one that we still have. And it's like nobody likes it.
Yeah, and it doesn't work for the same reason that everything doesn't work when you try to regulate it by somebody who's outside of it. And
the smartest thing the Roman Catholics ever did was refuse to join the World Council of Churches.
Like, why would you need a world council of them? If you are right, then you need to be converting these people. And if you're wrong, then you have no business getting together to discuss it, you know? So what are we talking about? Right? And people fuck that up about, like, everything. If we're, having gray areas are just made up of a bunch of right and wrong. When you get all the wrong out of it, it's not gray anymore, is it? You know? So, like, this is the entire point of, like, of anything that I do philosophically, is trying to get more wrong out of whatever the fuck it is that's going on. Because there's plenty. There's more than enough, for sure. Did this call drop? Or did I just talk you both to death, actually?
I think you might have just expired from all the talking.
Oh my god.
You there?
I'm here.
Ortho chat.
Ortho
I have no
Chad
idea what
is
happened to
missing.
him.
I don't know. It's
Something's
mysterious.
terribly wrong if he's not talking.
I have to imagine.
That man loves to talk.
He's never been quiet. I've never known him to be quiet.
The relay. Our brothers are getting hammered down there.
I do like in this how concerned with everybody else
Nope, he dropped out.
Gadriel is.
Oh.
Oh, he dropped off? All right. Well, someone nuked his internet, I guess.
Enlighten us, Lord Titus.
Damn. He's still in the game, it looks like. Wait, no he's not. No he's not.
Reports confirm the lieutenant's
Well, just me and you then.
Oh, boy.
We got this.
We do got this. That's all right. There's an AI.
Our word is bond. This void spawn behemoth has seen its
You back?
last.
I think we're back. I'm sorry about that, guys.
there he
That was that. It was that special time of the night where my internet decided to completely die out on me.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
That's okay. That's okay.
Fonz is living in a third world country like you do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, are you guys still on the mission or?
We are still in the mission, but we can restart it. I don't think we're far into it, are we?
How long
Actually, I
are
was
we
gonna say-
keeping this going?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it might not be a bad time to wrap it up for the night, Mr. Antagonist? I'm
well,
sorry.
no, you're good to go. Okay, we've been on for 2.5 hours, fellas. We done 2.5.
It's been an
Good
episode.
Mr. Secretary, what do you think about your first day in the pit, as we affectionately call it? The pit that Jesus talks about in the Bible.
No,
That
no.
our Lord spoke of. Yes. Everything I ever hoped and dreamed it was.
Mr.
So
Antagonist,
it's basically like I took you and who talks and talks, and then I got another you who talks and talks. You know?
Very unlucky, sir.
Amazing.
Very unlucky. Yeah, you'll never. Trying to get a word in edgewise between OrthoChat and myself requires like pneumatic tools, I think. Like you have to actually really hammer that shit.
Molecular scissors.
Yeah.
You should see the average staff meeting at our companies.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Speaking of, we got one tomorrow late, don't we?
Oh no.
You better be there, because
I know.
losing track of what's happening.
I will
Yeah,
absolutely join you in
I-
shaming him if he meets it, if he misses it. Just let me know. See, now we have the group chat, so you can actually let me know, and I will assist you in shaming him creatively. All right, guys.
Look, Mr. Orpho Chat, I think I don't know what the tech team's up to. I think they're building Skynet. I'm not sure.
That's great, man. I listen. Just tell me how much it costs. I really don't give a shit. At this
Oh
point.
no.
Oh, that's a mistake. You're gonna regret saying that.
Hell
I
yeah,
know.
there you go.
Yeah, no. Rusty gave me a number 2 weeks ago. I was gonna put a gun in my mouth, but anyway. Anyway, so listen. I think we should let my dear secretary do the outro. As
Absolutely.
His first time on here, and,
Yeah.
that'll be his honorary initiation into the podcast.
Perfect. Well, let her rip, fella. What do we have here?
Well, thanks everyone for watching. Check out the Orpho Chat podcast. We got new episodes coming out within the next week, probably. Check out Global Orthodoxy. We got lots of designs. We think they're great. You might disagree, but either way, you should give us money.
Exactly.
And,
Attaboy. I talk him so well. Oh, I
and
love
then
this fucking
donate
kid.
to
Oh, I love this
SC
fucking kid, man.
We got Lives of the Saints. We got Teachings of the Saints. Lots of good stuff coming out of the Greek language right now. Other languages in the future when we get to it. Going into Spanish and English for now.
Attaboy. I like it. Good job, my
Bless.
man. All right. I couldn't have said it better myself. Mr. Antagonist, thank you so much, my man. It's a pleasure as always.
Absolutely. Good time. Great show.
Monk, I will
For the Emperor.
probably call you. For the Emperor. I will call you in probably the next 15 minutes. All right. I think that's a wrap, everybody. Good night.
All right, boys. Good night.
Masters of it.
Fellas.
Clearly here to stop Aurora. I am not.
That's funny right there. Let me. Here, I have to shut off their avatars. 1 second. Pow! No, I said pow. There it goes. All right, boys. A funny, silly hee hee ha ha. That's true. It's true. It would appear there are some sort of soul updates. Let me do a quick catch up on my notifications here. I know it's uncouth. I was getting dinged at an awful lot while I was on stream here. Now it's time to play Look Outside. What the fuck is Look Outside? Did we get an answer on what sin is next month? No. Okay, Look Outside is an actual game. Okay. For a second, I was very concerned that saying, "Oh, it's time to play Look Outside" is like that the way to announce that I have actually been doxxed. It would have been awful. Wild horror RPG, creepy and you love it. Okay, is that single player? Should I save it for Halloween season, I wonder? Okay. I will probably save it for Halloween season then. He's in the shrubbery. It's entirely possible. Hunt, I had a stupid idea about doing Gladiodrome merch. I want to do like a basic black t-shirt that just has like the opening sting like every episode. Like every single fucking episode. You know, you're listening to Gladiodrome, the only podcast with 2 Jewish hosts. And I just want white text, black t-shirt, fucking send it. And I don't know what a price point for that would be or how like you would even like how would a person handle these orders, because it couldn't be more than, 5 people that would order any given shirt, but it's also like the simplest print possible. White text, black shirt, the official podcast of the Deep State. The opinions expressed in here are not our own. But it seems like it would be a good, funny, stupid product to have that is a perfect inside joke. Maybe do them as the, everyone's done the fake Palantir pullovers now. So I don't know if I'd want to do that. But like official Gladiodrome lower receivers. I would love to do a run of uppers, actually, that are like, I want engraved uppers with just all of the, so that I could just sell them. All right, so we just got gladiodrome.com because some retard on Twitter the other day took the Gladiodrome handle, and then I felt extra retarded because I hadn't already grabbed the the Gladiodrome Twitter handle, and I should have. So we immediately went and bought the .com. And I was like, all right, what should I do with the .com? Well, then we should do a merch store probably. And I need to set up, Gladiodrome at gladiodrome.com for an email. And I need to do this and I need to do that. Blah, 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 right? And I don't really know how to do all that, but I would like to, just real quick knock that out. But in any case, it seemed like the idea of doing like shirts to order on there would be less difficult through our own website than through any fucking shop system. I don't even know. I've never used, like, I don't know how Shopify works, but whatever. Anyway, so now I'm thinking about, like, okay, goofy ass merch things that we could do. You know those plushies that, like, you turn them inside out, right? Like, there are companies you can use, but the margins would be pretty thin. Yeah. Gladiodrome dreidels. Son of a bitch. Limited edition. Gladiodrome dreidel. Still in the package. Only been shaved twice. Each face, different host? Yeah. There's 4 faces. Anyway, no, like the plushies that turn inside out, right? Like one's angry and then you flip it the other way and it's happy again. Like they was doing them with octopuses recently. But like you could do one of those with the cube and it changes, you know? Dumb shit like that. And actually, come to think of it, now that I've said that out loud, we could do like the various flesh ball expressions too. That's a good one. Best way to do it is limited runs. Made to order, costs a ton. Okay. Well, since you're my resident shirts guy, I'll at least like throw numbers around with you later because I don't know shit about doing shirts. So at the very least, you can tell me about doing shirts. And then I know, like, Flesh knows a couple of different merch guys from other things. So I don't even know where the fuck that would go. Yeah, you know a lot. Exactly. I wonder how, like, what kind of retard hat would be. It would be so... Like, the shit that would actually get us blown up would be like, I don't know, APAC yarmulkes, Gladiodrome yarmulke. That would be very funny. Why his patches took so long to get to Chris Cheeky. I don't know how Chris Cheeky does stuff, man. I just don't know. That yarmulke better come with googly eyes. Oh my God, we got to give the flesh balls googly eyes, don't we? Oh. I think we really do. We don't need. Well, you know what? Maybe we do. We still have a little bit of some tunes, some sounds happening. Enthusiasm. That Yamaka. Make men's underwear with the googly eyes. Oh my God. Gladiodrome boxer briefs. I need you all to know my wife is aggressively 6'7"ing to my right now. It was like a full range of motion 6'7", really, really fast. Like really annoyingly fast. That's so stupid. The weirder the product, the larger the run will have to be to make it reasonably profitable. Yeah, see, I don't know. I always wonder about stuff like that because, like, shirts are dead easy. Yeah, because it seems like you can get shirts made, right? I just don't know what would be like good merch shirt bases, especially if it's like, okay, it's a black shirt. It's going to have some white text on it. That's it. If that's the case, it better be a comfy fucking shirt, right? And I just don't know, like, who the fuck makes... I don't know why I can't fix that. I don't understand what's going on here. But, like, I don't know who makes comfy fucking shirt for merch, you know? Like, oh, if you buy these, you know, you buy them, 5,000 at a time. And if you do that, then it's, it's $10 per base shirt. I don't fucking know. The shirt store in your high school used to always smell like pickles. That's weird. See, now it's got... Okay, I guess we have more buttons to push. But I don't want an emblem, you see. Hawaiian shirts? That's a good question. Yeah, see, well, that's why I threw 5,000 out there. Like, I'm sure that I could sell 5,000 different shirts, right? And if they're all just a base black and we're going to print white text on them later, then great. You know, over the course of the next, what, 200 episodes? I don't know. Like, if I sell 5 per... Yeah. I'm talking about buying, like, the materials to get that shit done later. Because obviously, like, 5,000 of a finished product to sell. Yeah. How do the armicas stay on in the weather? There's a pin. It's like a hat pin. T-shirts are already cheap. Yeah, they are. Ish. But, well, like, what if it's the best T-shirts? Like, how cheap can I get the best T-shirts? Yeah, but that's same design. Exactly. Who's the Jewish host again? Well, it's a mystery. I think we are all excessively Jewish in various spiritual ways. Right? Like, I think Rusty looked great in the APAC Money video. I think it fit him more than it shouldn't have been. With direct-to-film printing, I have no idea what that is. See, okay, when I say I don't know anything about... I mean, for real. I don't know nothing about how it works. So, I would just be like, oh, yes. No, I'm Jew-ish, as in I'm a penny pincher, or whatever that one politician said. Yeah. My wife did enjoy the APAC Money video, but I don't think she enjoyed it the way he wanted somebody to enjoy it. Baby goats are pleasant. Okay, well, good. See, I feel like there should be more skins for my stuff in here, and I don't know why there aren't. But yeah, doing like little batches. It's an inkjet printer, prints on a translucent coated film, and a powder TPU glue is applied to the ink, heated to melt and cure. Okay. Oh, that gets you the slightly raised, you know, the print with a thickness. Okay. Fairly thin, fairly soft feel. Okay. Then it is not the one that I'm thinking of, and that's probably for the best. I mean, they're cool to have the ones that like actually have texture, but they die, you know? This is where you do design magic to keep it thin and light. Okay. Man, Hawaiian shirts would be very funny. If you meet a dude with a Gladiodrome Hawaiian shirt, understand, that motherfucker will mail you something awful. What the hell is going on through all here? craft paper. That's very cool. Yeah, if you if you meet a Gladiodrome fan in public, you do actually have to scream the password. Yeah, word of power in public right now. He's wearing a Gladiodrome bowling shirt. Oh no. Gladiodrome Wolves bowling shirt is fucking funny. Oh my god. My beautiful wife, I need you to draw like the Gladiodrome version of the wolf shirt. I need you to make that a reality somehow, and so that I can do that as merch. I need the two wolves, the two wolves, and then the hypercube can be the moon, right? So we've got the oh, this is so fucking hokey. Oh no. The Prince last year's. See, Haunt does quality handmade work by fucking Americans, goddammit. Burger King hat with the flesh globe. That's a good one. I like that. Important legal disclaimer. Any ideas for merch that you give me here are my property, and I'll do whatever I want with them. FOMO works. We could test limited runs. I know. I just would have to. I have to get the like the limited. Like I gotta get the shop thing put together. Irish, it's not too late. We could test limited runs. It's a good idea. And I want to do something with it soon. I don't know. We got to figure some shit out. Because if we already have, like... I don't know. I think it'd be fun, basically. Like, I don't think anybody gets rich off of doing, like, podcast t-shirts. But I do think it's funny. And I think... some people would enjoy the fuck out of it. I think other people, like, they would like it. I think it would be funny to have. Listen, if you already patented Googly Eyes Yarmulke in general, first of all, I'm gonna bet they fucking stole that patent. And secondly, okay. I feel like there was one more thing out here that I could do, like, offhandedly to unlock shit. Most of the people who do merch do the easy button, and they end up with a company that takes most of the profit. Yeah, I know that. Just like I've seen VTubers and just various streamers who really lose everything on their merch that they should be making. And it's unfortunate. The real reason that's unfortunate is that, like, well, their fans are kind of getting taken advantage of, because the reason the fan would buy the thing is because the fan wants to support whoever it is that they're a fan of. You know, and I'm saying fans, that's very gay, but, like, you get what I'm saying. So the whole reason to do it is because, like, you get a nifty thing, and you get to do the hookup for somebody that you like. And that's a good reason to do both those things, right? So when it is, you hit the easy button and, like, fuck it, who cares? That does suck. That sucks a lot. But it would also be very funny to have a Gladiodrome Fumo. Metal bands do small quantity merch from small businesses. I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Merch slightly off rulers. Okay. I did actually want to do like the goofball not 6 inches ruler, because I thought that was funny. But like a bunch of laser engraved uppers that we could sell that are all gladiodrome, like all gladiodromed out. But I'd have to pick weird quotes, either weird quotes from the show, again, like just covered in the stingers or fucking whatever. And it would just be a real shame the first time that gets used in a shooting. That would be such a fucking bummer. It's just engraved with all the lyrics to APAC money. And then some retard shoots up a school. And then we have to explain that to somebody. Like, shit. Sorry about that. It was supposed to be ironic. Fuck. Stratagems. Okay. Okay, here we go. What is this? Once we know what product we want to do, we can work on the numbers. Some products, we might as well get it from the big boys. So the one that I'm the most sure I want to do, that seems the simplest, would be Haunt. I guarantee you, the ADL does not think that it's too esoteric. Endorsed by the deep state is a hell of an engraving on the upper. But anyway, I'm pretty sure about the t-shirts thing. I feel like the t-shirts thing should be a slam dunk. I have not talked to the boys about this, so I could just be lying. But it would also be better to talk to the boys about it with numbers. But I suppose I shouldn't do that on stream. There's no such thing as bad publicity. That is not true. I mean, actually, genuinely, ask Israel. Their publicity for the last couple of years has been dog shit. It has not gone well. Okay, so these have to be, they have a designated difficulty. Get some art together. Well, seriously, like that's the other reason that I think the t-shirts would be the most straightforward, because there's no art necessary. It's like I'm literally just thinking fucking black shirt, white text. Here's the stinger from episode 1. Here's a stinger from episode 2. Here's a stinger from the next episode. You know? And if it would be a thing, like, if it would be a gigantic fucking hassle where, like I said, I bet we wouldn't sell more than 5 of any one of these. But but if it's just, it's one listing on the website, black shirt, white text, and you're just picking it by episode, like there's a drop-down menu that just lets you select what episode. You're like, oh yeah, this one made me laugh. And that's it. Perfect. Has to be sized and formatted. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Sure. Boys. I've jibba-jabbed over the 3-hour line here. Jamming about potential merch. Absolutely nothing concrete yet. Plenty to think about. I do not know what a raster is, sir. It is a mystery to me. Yes, my love, you could in fact make anime women out of the 3 of us and put it on the shirts. That's very annoying. Oh, the Rusty Cage anime woman would be so stylish. Thank you, honey. Thank you. I guess I do need an anime woman hypercube. Yeah, we'll have to call and actually talk about it. Good. Well, yeah. Oh my goodness, and an ad break in 1 minute. Holy shit, though. Oh my god, though. It's glorp shit. Would you want your gender swap art to be bodacious or flat? Okay, this is an important question. So, I mean, my wife just said, that she would give my anime character the biggest tits. Because, of course, she is now 6'7"ing the imaginary anime titties. But, just aggressively. She's going to punch the monitor on accident. It's really, it's making me nervous. All right, let me see who's on that we can raid. Is there anybody on? Twidgy is on. Leaflet is on. Grimmy is on. Uwo's on. What the hell? It says Leaflet is on and has been on for... Oh, no, that's 71 minutes. That's not 71 hours. Medium boobs master race. Like a light C, you're thinking? Oh my god. By the way, my wife doing gender swap anime art of us for merch would send the trans creatures into an absolute frenzy. You understand? They would be like, I fucking knew it. This is the way they sound, by the way, when they speak. I fucking knew it all the time. So stupid, dude. Right. No, there will be no furry drawings. Unless, I don't know, you could do art of Rusty's anime girl becoming a male werewolf. That would be funny. That would be a funny one. It's still gender ops. Flesh's ops trying to use it as a gotcha would be very funny. Exactly. Fucking spazzes. For sure. TFD. I don't know what that is. God damn it. Oh, yes, that too. Of course. How silly of me. How very silly of me. My kick viewer count kept jumping up and down too fast. I was trying to catch it while it was up and then hit the host channel thing. Didn't work. Total furry. Fucking kickers. What the hell? Okay, here we go. So, how about I'm gonna send us to Uwo's lab. Uwo's lab. And I figure we'll be back on Friday, and we're gonna do Friend Slop Friday. Is what we're gonna do. Friend Slop Friday. I'm not arguing with Star Citizen anymore for the time being. I'm going to happily have Friend Slop Friday. That's what we'll do. But for today, of course, stream is stream is off.